Day of January 2026. Today will be a deciding factor for Ken Ofori-Atta's immigration status, whether or not he will stay in the United States. Oh,
that's for that one. No, I mean when you get to understand exactly what the
issues are,
ICE is saying concerning Ken Ofori-Atta, it doesn't look like
there's hope for him.
For me, from where I sit, as a very ignorant person of the U.S. laws and immigration laws, it doesn't look like Ken would have a favorable decision from the courts in the U.S. But hey, his lawyers, we are told, one of the best you can find.
You know,
that's why you have to make money. In all you do, make money. Because without money
solves everything.
It stops nonsense. Bible says that money answereth all things. Yes.
Yeah, he didn't say something.
No, every single thing. And he equates money to wisdom sometimes. So, bro, in all you do, make money. So you can afford the best of lawyers when they catch you.
Praise the Lord. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Yeah. It's a bit cloudy depending on where you are. So you want to take precautionary measures as you're stepping. I don't know what we did to Hamatan, but we're not experiencing Hamatan. It's 20 days into January. We still know Hamatan. That should tell you that the global warming is gradually getting to us. So
I thought it was the reset. So we have reset the weather patterns too. Yeah.
Hey. Good morning, President John Dramani Mahama. You're welcome to the show. It's a packed day. We have a lot for you. We have a lot to discuss on the breakfast review. We'll talk a lot about Ken Ofori-Atta, of course. We'll talk also about all the things that are happening in the country. And then we'll get to sit with one of the aspirants for the NPP flag bearer elections, which will be some 11 days away. Dr. GHOne will be in the hot seat today. We'll ask him a lot of the questions that are on your mind. Will he make the cut? Polls have not favored him. Prophecies have not favored him.
At all.
But will his interactions with the delegates yield any fruits for him? There's a peace pact that will be signed on Thursday. Will he sign it? Will that peace pact die down all the insidious comments, all the allegations, counter-allegations, especially on social media from the various camps? These are some of the things that we're asking. But you can also send us your questions and we will pose it to Dr. GHOne. Beyond education, what do you know about him? These are some of the things I'm sure is on your mind. But welcome to the show. We also have court today. We'll take you to the sports world and not forgetting Inside Out. So please be our guest. But first, let's motivate you.
Well, our code for this morning is from Confucius, who says, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you don't stop. And clearly, you just don't have to stop, and the pace is not a challenge. You know, sometimes I remember a pastor once said that, you know, some people just speed and then overtake you, only for you to realize that they're just going to the next junction. But you have the long haul, and you start like them, you'll break down before you get your destination. So it doesn't matter how pacey it is or how slow it is for you, just don't stop.
You know the song. So baka baka
ubedru aje baka baka ubedru.
Just don't stop. No matter how slow it is, you will get to your destination.
But if you check and you realize that the reason why you are slow is because of you, pick up the pace. You now pick up the pace, but don't stop. So it's okay to go slow and then increase the pace and speed small, but then just don't apply the brakes.
You know, sometimes there are a number of things we blame the Abbey for, and somebody. A large chunk of the things that is affecting us is ourselves.
And that's the problem of Africa. We keep blaming others for our challenges. We fail to take responsibility. And it's easy to, you know, blame others and say, oh, Lily is the reason why I'm not getting the top spot. Joshua is the reason why I'm not able to do what I need to do. But have you asked yourself, what about you? Exactly. Sometimes the answer lies there. You are the own cause of the challenge that you're facing. But whatever be the case, don't stop. Absolutely. Keep going at it positively. But if it's a bad thing, stop.
Anyway, let's pump you up. Let's bring you our word of the day, and then we'll pump you up with our video for this morning. A video for you this morning. So on Tiasia, we can head to court.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on GA today. And it's time to take you to the court. Mutala Kwenote Inusa is here to give us updates on what has been happening. It's been busy at the courts. And Mutala, good morning.
Good morning, Joshua, Kodjo, Mensah, and good morning, Lily, the couple.
Jolie.
Yeah, from radio to TV.
I know, right? You guys are doing an amazing job, you know.
And you're also doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Last weekend, I'm saying this one because director is watching. Our director this morning is watching. So there was a certain Manchester derby, okay, and then the other United.
It's okay, it's okay.
No, just let me laugh.
It's okay, but we are in court.
Yeah, it's surprising. Your Honor, overruled.
You guys have saved UG, so I take it.
Eugene is our best
Objection
friend.
sustained.
Eugene is our very good friend.
Sustained.
You see why I shouldn't follow football? Nothing can cheer you.
But let's look at a number of the things that happened in court.
Yes.
My brothers and sisters on my other side in Boku are not happy. The Mampushis are not happy.
Yeah.
Yesterday I saw a number of videos on social media. They were blaming the Otumfor, they were blaming President Mahama. But give us a picture.
Yes, so the videos you are seeing on your screens, that is the this is inside the law court complex. And the reason you are seeing a lot of police officers, you are seeing these people, some of them not really happy, is that yesterday in the morning when I got to the law court complex around 5 minutes to 9, then I realized that the police they've arrived and they're trying to arrange these barricades just outside by the roadside. So I was wondering what exactly is happening, because on my list, the cases that I had, the one that I thought would bring the numbers is the one in relation to the Vema case, the DVLA matter, because when they come in red with red armband and all of that. So in my mind, but that one, I've not seen traces that require this sort of security arrangement. So I was asked a few questions around, then the name Boko came out. I was like, The case of Boko, the last time when we went to court, at the earliest time that Boko is supposed to feature is 21st. And 21st, the AG is supposed to produce a report on why he's being kept in detention. Then on the 26th, that case will come out. So could it be that they are making arrangement for 26th? Then something also struck out. Could it be that things have changed and all of that? Then fast forward, we got the information that Alhaji Abagri will be coming. Is the reason that arrangement has been done. And yesterday, the premises of the law, if you look at the security arrangement just before, this is outside. So before you even had the opportunity to enter into the court premises, then you should show cause what you have there, whether you have a case directly or not. But if you are coming there because of this case, then you have to contend with the security arrangement and all of that. And
was that the reason the deputy AG had a lot of security details?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Because I saw a number of pictures and commentary on social media. And I think people make comments when they don't understand the situation.
Absolutely. In the days that he comes to court with, in respect of any other case, we've shown so many videos. It's him and his guard, the police officer alone, and then his staff. They'll come to court every day. But when you see the videos that you mentioned with a lot of military following him, is because of this case and the fact that it's a lot of sensitivity and a lot of emotions and all of that. So all cautions ought not to be thrown to the wind like that. So yesterday, he was arraigned. Alhaji Saidu Abagri was arraigned. He came, he was brought to court. He sat in the courtroom up until when the case was called. Then, from what we do know, he's been charged He's been charged with 4 counts. And if you look at the count, let me go through quickly. The first count has to do with him acting as a chief without qualification. When that charge was read to him, he pleaded not guilty. We couldn't get a picture or a video of him because they didn't pass through the main entrance where our cameras could capture him. They used the
But did the court specify what qualifications he needed?
So
because that has also generated a bit of controversy, I mean, in some of these tribal facts on what qualifications somebody will require to become.
So when you look at the acts under which he was charged, once you make that point, so then let me refer to the exact provision under which he was charged with that very count for not having a qualification. So that is the very count which states that acting as a chief without qualification, contrary to Section 63A of the Chieftaincy Act 2018, Act 759. I have not actually averted my mind to that, but I have not read that particular provision, so I would have given you the details. But this is the act under which he was charged with acting as a chief without qualification. Then count 2 has to do with provocation of riot, contrary to Section 200 of Criminal and Offences Act, Act 29, 1960. That's count 2. Then count 3 is offensive conduct to the breach of the peace. He also pleaded not guilty. Then the last count has to do with fighting with weapons, contrary to provisions of law. And so he pleaded
fighting with weapons.
That's the charge out. So fighting with weapons, contrary to Section 203 A of the Criminal Offences Act. And let me give you the particulars of offense in relation to that particular charge. It said, Alhaji Seidu Abagri alias Na Shiriga, right? Kruger II, 78 years old, retired teacher, that you, in or before December 2025 in Boko in the Upper East region and within the jurisdiction of the court, did by acting as Boko Naba when you knew you were not qualified to do so, with the intent to provoke some Kusasi people and some Mampusi people to fight with deadly weapon, instruments or weapons. So not him fighting directly, personally, but inciting others to fight with weapons. Absolutely. So that is the particulars of offense by way of the charge that he was fighting using weapon. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges that have been leveled against him. His lawyers went ahead, Martin Pebu, advanced bail argument. The issue of his health came to the fore. The fact that he's a retired teacher, he will not abscond, he's not a flight risk, and the fact that even at the point they were arguing for him to be admitted to self-recognizance bail and all of that. Deputy Attorney General opposed to the grant of bail and raised issues about public safety, public order, and the fact that his own personal safety is also very key in this matter. Looking at the surrounding circumstances and all of that, it will only be fair that he is being kept in safe, lawful custody. With the lawyers, the issue about the health, he said yes, the Deputy AG did admit that yes, he has issues with health ground, but in custody where he is with the NIB, he's been afforded all the flat facilities to ensure that his health conditions are safe, and indeed has some personal interaction with him. And the man himself, due to the arrangement and all the discussion that took place, the only thing that could solve the situation at this particular point in time is to ensure that he is being kept in lawful custody until such time that the situation calms down, such time that things are normalized and all of that. So that was how this very case ended yesterday. So on the score of that, Justice Alima El Alawa Abdul Basit remanded him into NIB custody and urged the state to ensure that his dignity as a human being, his fundamental human right, is protected and he is in custody, and his health grounds also must be ensured that he's fit at all time. And then to ensure expeditious hearing of the case, the court has also ordered that the prosecution file the necessary processes within time. So this case will come out sometime 2nd of February, and then we'll know more after that. So that was one of the things that took place yesterday. As you can see, the numbers at the law court complex yesterday.
Let's look at the VMAC DVLA matter.
Yes. So yesterday, they also come to court in their numbers. So, so that is the and all of that.
A number of them have done this business
for a very long time. Yes. So this morning, just yesterday in the bulletin, I heard the story about DVLA trying to come out with a hospital.
Yeah, the drivers' hospital.
So drivers and then all these people, because you sit for a very long time, you have issues with your back and all of that. So they're intending to do that. I've also heard counter arguments in relation to, but let's focus on what really happened in court. So yesterday,
they really need a driver's hospital. I mean,
what's the category of drivers?
Commercial drivers.
Let's
commercial
not start.
drivers. We don't even
Oh, it's okay. Let's not start this debate. We won't finish.
You are a driver. You may benefit. Don't you drive?
We are not commercial drivers.
I said don't let us start, Captain.
Every driver.
Because unless we have Nikwe in the studio to break it down for us, we'll not even talk
We
about it.
have a regulated commercial transport system. I don't talk about which drivers are going there. GPRT or concerned drivers? Who?
Oh, maybe once it is coming from the driver, the DVLA, all drivers will comply. Just like you go there for your
But which umbrella?
But I've told you we shouldn't even go there. We'll finish. Let's stick to their issues in court. But this one self will be going to court.
So yesterday, Justice Isaac Addo had to adjourn the case because the applicant, Vermac, and their lawyers make the point that they have not received the DVLA's affidavit in opposition to their interlocutory injunction, which they say that they filed it on the 16th of January. So they want a short adjournment to be able to look at what they have filed. If they have any response to that, then they can also reply. So Friday, it has been agreed as the day that the court will then go ahead to hear the interlocutory injunction, whether to restrain the DVLA from proceeding to enroll that digital system or that technology that seems to advance the course of their work and all of that. So Friday, we'll know more. But Jojo Bruce Kwanzaa, who speaks for Vermac, spoke to me moments after the adjournment.
The judge would have granted our injunction. But unfortunately, it's government institution. They will be losing money. So the judge is also taking those things into consideration. And so we have agreed. We are coming on Friday to see what goes on. I told the DVLA that all over the country we have about 3,000 workers. And these are people we've been working with. I have been working with some of them for the past 10 years. Some have been working for over 20 years, some 25 years, some 30 years. So if all of a sudden, one day you ask them to go home, then what do you expect them to do? I mean, in this kind of situation, they have nowhere to go. So we ask them to come to court so that the DVLA will see that it's not just talk, but we actually have the staff.
Jojo Bruce Kwanzaa over there, he speaks for the Vermac, yes, and then the applicants in this matter, or the plaintiffs in this very matter. So 23rd of January, this case will come up and we'll know whether the court will grant their request or not.
Chairman Wuntumi.
Chairman Wuntumi.
Clark Kent.
Now we have to call him King Wuntumi. He's wearing King Promise shoe.
Oh. Lily, how did you see that? And I'm not sure I've seen.
I'm not in this matter. I clearly.
No, I think we need to.
I recuse myself.
We We need to file an application for Lily to produce that evidence.
Oh no, as for that evidence there is there.
I can't even show you now. and you know, he has a way he moves his feet, when he walks. To show you that, give me that. Give me the king,
Yeah.
I think we should have captured Lily doing what she was doing with her feet. But talk to me about our second prosecution witness.
Yeah, so yesterday, the prosecution is calling 4 witnesses. And ever since the trial started, yesterday was the 4th day. So the trial started with prosecution calling their very first witness. Yesterday was the 1st day into the trial. The first prosecution witness spent, 1.5 days in court under evidence. Evidence in chief, cross-examined, has been discharged. Michael Jedu was the one who was the first prosecution witness. The second prosecution witness, Henry Okum, who says that yes, that particular concession was handed over to him by Chairman Wontumi. Yesterday, he also ended his evidence by way of evidence in chief, cross-examination, and has been discharged. The investigator has mounted the witness box yesterday. His witness statement was adopted, and then cross-examination started by way of lawyers of Chairman Wontumi sealing his mouth for further cross-examination at the next agenda. So after the investigator, another witness will come, and that will end the 4. So in respect of this very case, it appears that the trial is moving on very, very fast and all of that. So yesterday, the second prosecution witness has ended his evidence. Cross-examination has been concluded, and the investigator has mounted the witness box. So on Monday, the case was supposed to have continued today and tomorrow, but the lawyers of Chairman Wontumi makes the point that there is some engagement that he ought to attend, and so prayed with the court for the court to, as it were, grant him an adjournment. And so in this case, you should be reading between the line who delays the case and all of that. It's one of the essence of this very show. Will tell you why the case was adjourned. So if you are following the case, then you'll be marking, okay, the case was adjourned on an instance of this person and all of that. So that there are a lot of times that we are blaming the court. But sometimes the court has fixed a time, then in between the time, one of the parties will request for an adjournment and all of that. So this case will come up again on Monday for the third prosecution witness, who happens to be the investigator, to continue with further cross-examination.
Skytrain. Yesterday was Professor Miracle's birthday.
Yes,
yeah, 81st birthday.
81st birthday.
But he wasn't there. So he had to go and do things.
Birthday,
Yes, he has to go and do chop birthday.
Interestingly,
Even after that, you'll be thinking.
No, during the birthday itself, you're still thinking, what's happening in court? What are they saying?
Interestingly, yesterday I did indicate that his lawyers requested that he be absent yesterday, but yesterday he appeared. Yesterday he appeared.
You
So
see the matter we're talking about.
He came to chop
The birthday in court. Oh,
Yes. So yesterday
Grandpa had to come to
he
court for
appeared in
birthday.
court,
Oh.
and quite interestingly, in the course of the trial, he stood up and then went out. So when he went out, the judge saw that. Then he asked counsel, why is the accused person going? So the practice is that if you're an accused person and you are in a case, and at some point in time you have any concern, you always speak to your lawyer, and your lawyer will address the court before whatever will happen will happen. But in this case, that did not happen. He just stood up, walked quietly with the assistance of one of the gentlemen who he comes to court with. And then so the judge wants to find out, why is your client moving out without the court knowing whatever the situation is? So his lawyer, Yao Champomboa, will then have to walk out, engage, and say, oh, he's going to see, visit the washroom and all of that. But I said, no, if that is the case, he ought to just put up his hand and let the court that this is what I want, and that is what is supposed to be done. And he said, the man is 81 years old, so a lot of the things you have to then. The judge has a way of creating that kind of, there's a joke, and there's some words, I wouldn't want to use it on this side. Sometimes when you are in the courtroom, you don't want to. But the substance of the matter is that first prosecution witness is under further cross-examination by lawyers of the first accused person, led by Victoria Bath. And yesterday, there were some issues about a lot of objections here and there
Yeah.
from the Deputy Attorney General, from the prosecution side, on grounds that lawyers of the first accused person trying to confuse the witness in the box by way of making assertions, things that probably he might have said. The manner in which they posed it back to him, he didn't say it to us. So that raises a lot of objection and all of that. By the end, that case was adjourned to today. So today, they will be back in court, and the expectation is that probably the first accused person, his lawyers, will end their cross-examination. Then the second accused person, Professor Christopher Myokunfi, and his lawyers will also take over from there. So that is also the update coming from the SkyTrain matter.
Right. And finally, Men's Gold.
So we're telling you that SkyTrain is coming off. Men's Good. And something interesting happened at the last court sitting in respect of Men's Good.
Okay.
Nana Appiah Mensah almost found himself in trouble when it appeared to the court that he did not want to continue with his defense. I have told you about the fact that he's acquired the services of a new lawyer. Yes. So having acquired the services of a new lawyer, the new lawyers file certain processes at the time that they have not officially put themselves in an official position before the court. So whatever they said at that point, it was just taken as though this is something that you have just said in court. It has no official use. Now the case was called, he's already entered and started to open his defense. So the case was called at the last time for him to open his defense, to continue with the process. Now his lawyers were saying they want an adjournment, and that adjournment is because they have filed processes at the Supreme Court. And the court is saying that as at now, prosecution also indicated that they have not been served with the processes. So they did not even know the foundation of all that the lawyers of Namwan are saying. So the business for the day is for them to continue. As and when there's an update, there's an official update that the court can work with, then they move on from there. Then it appeared to the court that the lawyers are saying they want an adjournment, and if not the case, then they are not proceeding with the continuation of it. Then the court is saying that if that is your position, then it is deemed or it is assumed as if you don't have any evidence, any defense to the charges against you. So it means you have closed the case and the case is over. So the court said that he be remanded. Namwan should be remanded. And the court was just retiring to go and prepare a decision by way of judgment. So once judgment is going to be delivered, then you know that you are in trouble. But having reflected on that, he and his lawyers went back to the court to tell the court that, yes, they have now agreed to continue with their defense. And that subsequently, the court had to vacate that order for him to be remanded and ask that he continue with the process. So he entered the witness box and then began to testify. And that matter has been adjourned. Interestingly, tomorrow, he'll be back at the High Court. But this morning, he's appearing at the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court, his lawyers, are challenging processes within the High Court. So we'll follow through to bring an update on that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Captain. That should do for court today. Let's bring you the sports chat. So Jones has joined us.
The gods of Senegal were alive.
The gods, they don't play football.
They play football.
They are busy doing things. They don't play football. I'm sorry.
They play football.
I'm sorry.
They are gods of football, and they smiled at Senegal on Sunday.
Everybody prays. So who would God listen to?
But you see, do you know that there's something trending in the AFCON? The towel fight.
Yes.
Okay.
Where the goalkeeper's towels, the Moroccans believe that there's something in it. So they will go and pick it. Then the goalkeeper replace it. The ball boys will go and pick it. So they did that to Nigeria. Then when they go to Senegal, they wanted to do that again. And then the players were lie. It didn't go happen today. And so, I mean, but then we want to start off with Senegal. You know, they arrived this dawn. And the president was there at midnight to welcome them. I mean, they arrived to thousands of Senegalese just celebrating and jubilating. There is a captain of the side, Kalidou Koulibaly, meeting the president of Senegal as they welcomed to the country, Dakar there. And so they've won the AFCON a second time. Ghana, we are still hoping that God will do something for us. But then congratulations to Senegal. I mean, the circumstances. Was it? Lantam would always say.
I mean, the last time we won, only Mr. Jantuaku can really relate.
Yeah.
In this room.
And I don't know
None
if
of us can relate.
Yes.
That's how bad it is.
I don't know if he really ran. Nick, if you know what I mean, when Ghana won the AFCON, that's the thing, yes. But we'll be telling our viewers, Mr. Jantua is saying that if Arsenal gets to win the Premier League, he'll come to the studios in a nice style.
But you have to say the word.
Without clothes.
Yes.
Without, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, he says naked.
Himself. He says if Arsenal wins, he'll come
Yes.
to the studio naked.
So we are recording this part. Mr. Jantua is saying that if Arsenal gets to win the Premier League, 2025-2026 Premier League, he will come to the show naked because... Right, let's head to CAF because, you know, CAF says they have condemned all the chaos and issues that happened around the finals. If you missed out, let's get to see some of the things because the Senegalese fans had a fight. For Champions League because Arsenal will be in action. Yes, Mr. Jantos Arsenal will be in action today. But before that, Kairat would play Club Brugge. Bodo Glimt would face Manchester City. Copenhagen take on Napoli. Inter Milan take on Arsenal today. Big one, 8 p.m. That time there is for Europe. So 8 p.m. Tonight. Olympiacos face... Yes, 9 p.m. in Europe. But then for Ghana, it's 8 p.m. And Olympiacos face Leverkusen. Real Madrid take on Monaco. Sporting CP play PSG. Spurs will take on Borussia Dortmund. And then Villarreal face Ajax. Let's remind you of how things are looking like with the table because Mr. Jantua can smile. Arsenal are first with 8 points after 6 games. Bayern second. PSG third. Man City fourth. Atalanta fifth. Inter sixth. Madrid seventh. Atletico Madrid are 8th. Let's look for Chelsea. Chelsea are 13th. And Barcelona are 15th. And so let's remind you that first 8 will automatically qualify to the next round of the competition. And then the 9th to 24th would be paired in a playoff draw. And the 25th to 36th would be relegated in the UEFA Champions League. So let's see which teams will make it to the next round. And then, of course, the playoff round. Manchester City have confirmed the signing of Maguire. So Maguire joins Antoine Semenyo as new Manchester City boys for winter signings there. So he joins from Crystal Palace. He's the captain of Crystal Palace. and then he has joined. And congratulations to McGahey joining Manchester City as a centre back. Obviously, they have issues in defence, and then he would come in to help the defence there. We'll have more of that for you on the game today at 1 p.m. I mentioned Antoine Semenyo. You know, Lily, there are Maulians who watch this show just because of Maoli School.
Oh,
and so yesterday I had a call at Jones. Where are you? So I need to do this. The first club that Antoine Semenyo played was Maoli School. He didn't go to Maoli School, but in that picture, director, give them the hand. You see the young boy in the middle on his knees. That's Antoine Semenyo, and these are Maoli School colors. So listen, the first ever football club Antoine Semenyo played was Maoli. So we started a career of the star. And that is how come he's a very good player.
Actually,
yes, his mother. So you know, this is actually UK games, old schools for old students in the UK. So he followed his mom. Said, "Mom, I want to play. I want to play. I want to play.
Okay.
I want to play for Maoli." And then he played there. So we started the career. In fact, Maoli School started a career of Antoine Semenyo. That's how come he's a very good player now. And then you see all he's doing. So he actually started playing football with Maoli School, and now he's there. Don't forget that Maoli School, our colors are green and yellow. You can see it there. We are the best. My name is Jones ADZ, and of course, we're outside.
You'll be outside too.
You can go outside now.
Presec, which footballer?
Okay.
Which footballer?
It's okay.
Presec, which footballer?
It's okay. So that's Jones ADZ who is stepping out now because our guests are ready. We'll be getting to that shortly, but let's bring you what the newspapers are reporting.
This morning, John Osai asks, who is likely to win NPP's January 31 primary? That's the question there. Will it be Ken? Will it be Bawizi? Will it be Dr. Agrek? Will it be Dr. Education? Or will it be Engineer? Can Ghana perform better at the World Cup? Well, the prophet said
exactly. We'll do well.
We too, we believe in prophecy.
Yeah, so
Christopher Modoubting Yami. Yeah. So any police officer you attempt to bribe now will disgrace. IGP, please.
Now they are disgracing the IGP.
IGP, don't make your people disgrace you.
Oh my goodness.
The IGP says any police officer you attempt to bribe now will disgrace you. He wants promotion.
I think, you see, people are taking him out of context. He didn't mean the MTTD. Yes, he meant...
But he says any police officer.
I can't even defend this.
But we can put this to the test. So those of you out there who are watching us, any police officer you meet, let's see if you attempt to bribe him, he will disgrace you. Let's subject this to a beautiful test. And then
I don't bribe, Mom. But the demands, that's what the issue is. They are demanding. And then Friday. That's the Daily Guide newspaper this morning. He's Goldfields pays legacy liabilities to former workers. Great news coming in there. There's also Ken opens wide lead in MPP race. And MPP flag bearers, aspirants to sign peace pact. And it has a picture of the Efia MP, Isaac Bwamanyako. Dubai, India account for 98% small-scale gold exports. And it has a picture of the Gold Boss CEO, Sami Jemfi there. And Baumia beats peace drums. Now nobody's beating war drums. It's peace drums, you're told.
The Chronicle this morning, Heath Goldfields pays 136 million cedis to settle legacy worker liabilities. So that's some good money coming in to some former workers there. I'm not an alien in MPP. That's according to Dr. Mahamudu Baumia. ANRAG rejects legitimacy and monopoly claims, flags forest risk in raw rubber exports. That's quite a mouthful, raw rubber exports. The Bible verse this morning, Matthew 10:33. But whoever denies me before men, I also deny him before my Father who is in heaven.
Yeah, he's not an alien.
Dr. Baumia says he's not an alien. So delegates, don't deny him. This is the word of the Lord.
Daily Graphic this morning, 98% of lands can't be registered. Owners at risk in disputes. Oforiatta case, Arthur Kennedy urges voluntary return. Aiko backs trial in absentia. And the AG has spoken to that. He says, well, with the way the things are going, Ken must come. Yes, it's an option.
need him.
But then Ken must be here to answer for some of these things personally. There's also named airport after Kwame Nkrumah, not Kotoka. That's renewed advocacy coming in there. Immigration Council unveils new project for border protection. And it has the chairman of the Council for the Ghana Immigration Service, Reverend Stephen Yenusom Wengam, who is also the Superintendent, General Superintendent for Assemblies of God Ghana, and the Interior Minister captured on the front page of the Daily Graphic.
The Ghanaian Times this morning, knockoff bus notorious drag queen in Bujumbura raid. Okay.
And she has I love Jesus on her shirt. The irony.
No increase in cement price, that's according to manufacturers. Comes with a beautiful picture of the trades minister. Prudential Bank shines in customer experience rankings. AIB, it sounds like EIB. Strengthens Ghana's aviation safety framework. Yeah. That's according to the transport minister.
Yeah, so the AIB is the Aviation Accident and Incident Prevention Center. We had them on the show last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are 5 years, by the way.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, and they are strengthening their safety framework. Exactly. It's very important.
They say our airspace is very safe. Yeah, so keep flying.
Yeah, and our pockets too must be safe. You understand? 240 tons of fresh tomatoes supplied to markets to address shortage.
Agama lizard.
That's what the newspapers are reporting this morning. We take a break. When we return, I guess we'll be seated with
Well, thank you so much for staying with us here. This is the breakfast review segment of GA Today on GHOne Television. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. My guests are ready, and so we'll be getting into the conversations. But let me talk to you about MTN Free After One Extra. So if you're someone who loves to talk like I do, you love to communicate with your loved ones, and usually you have to pay so much to communicate with them. Well, there's great news from MTN, because with MTN Free After One Extra, you get to talk for 1 full hour uninterrupted, and you pay for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk in the hour. Uninterrupted for you, smooth calls as well, making sure that you're connecting with the people that matter to you. All you need to do is to just dial *550#, that is *550#, and sign on, follow the prompts, and get to be a part of MTN Free After One Extra. Now, the good news is that while you are enjoying all this free talk time, you also get 50 megabytes of data absolutely free after every first call you make. And so, that's what MTN is bringing to you. MTN says everywhere you go. But let's get into the conversations now. And my guests are seated. We have Wanda Victor Kuto. He's a paralegal practitioner, also a board member of the Volta River Authority. Prince Sefa is former CEO of GIFEC and a member of the NPP's communications team. And of course, Kwame Jantoa is a paralegal practitioner and a member of the Convention People's Party, CPP. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And
how
nice
are
to
you?
have you. Mr. Jantoa, well,
Happy New Year.
Many happy returns to you. I think this is the first time we are getting on set this year. Yes.
So, looking forward to the year.
It looks promising already.
A bad day.
Hey, sir.
Hey.
Pressure. Then I need to properly position myself.
Bad day.
Right.
The pressure.
I think I saw you on the board recently.
On the board. Which on the board? Skidboard or what?
Remember.
On the skidboard or what?
He should clarify which board. Well, Prince,
It's GMPC is talking about.
Yes.
Okay. And then Sankofa.
Okay.
Prince, he says the year birthday. Do you also feel that?
Well, we wait and see.
MPP elections are coming up.
Yes.
Wait and see.
Possibly Kanufureta will be back. Said Namtamaklu will be back. A bad day.
What about you?
Oh, small.
Hey. You see, now they see the big men, they always say, oh, it's small, but but it's nice to have you here as well. So Mr. Jantoa makes the point that Ken Ofori-Atta, hopefully we are looking forward to that process that would get him into the country. We are told that he's having his day in court today in the United States of America. And let me start with you, Mr. Jantoa. On Ken having his day in court.
What is there to say? What is there to say? Good morning to our viewers. There are two sides to the case.
Yeah.
And currently, correct me if I'm wrong, I understand the FBI too has come in.
Yes, that's what the ambassadors report.
Now, in America, I'm sure both of you have been to America, and both of you understand the regulations, especially Wanda. He's just written a book on immigration, so he would understand it. In America, when the FBI comes into a case, it's criminality, isn't it? They come because of some criminal aspect.
Yes.
So when I heard it, I asked myself the question, is it the fact that there is some kind of extradition on his head, or is it the fact that he overstayed his bounds? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, his visa was supposed to have expired when? July. And so far as we know...
Well, the visa expired in February. It expires in February.
It expires in February.
Yes.
And so far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, he still had a certain period.
Yes.
However, his visa was revoked. And if they revoke something of yours, it means they probably have seen something untoward with your stay or with whatever it is they have found.
Right.
So for me, that is the question. When he meets the immigration authorities today, he meets the judge today, the reasons for his revocation will be put clear. Because really, if he still had time on his visa, then it means he didn't overstay. Mm-hmm. If he did overstay, then they'll let us know. But according to what we hear, and the Attorney General indicated that his visa was revoked. So for me, I would want to see what happens this morning. It's an American court. It's not a Ghanaian court. They would open up and tell you the charges.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm not sure about, and maybe Wanda will be able to educate me, is whether he has the right of an appeal for immigration cases. And the fact that his status was revoked, whether he has a right of an appeal. If he has right of appeal, then let's see what goes on there. But for me, I've always been saying it, that I don't want to see Ken Ofori-Atta come into this country in handcuffs.
Yes.
I've always said it.
Abundantly.
And when I saw him in handcuffs out there, the first thing that came to...
Well, we are told that that particular video is AI.
Okay,
Yes.
whatever the case is. The fact that they've even put you in a detention.
Yeah.
If I were in his shoes, and I'm not in his shoes, but if I'm in his shoes, I'll just say, guys, take me back home.
But we're told that he's also not too sure about the processes here. He does not trust the processes.
Please, don't let us go there.
For which reason? He feels he will not be treated well.
Don't let us go there. Are there not MPP people in court today? To me. Is he shackled? Is he even in detention? Is he not walking freely? So why would anybody want to paint our judiciary black? Why? Why? And do you think if Ken Ofori-Atta came and was being maltreated, MPP would sit down quiet? You think so? You think the hunchos in MPP will sit down quiet? Come on. Don't let us paint our country black out there, as if when he comes, they are going to, manhandle him. Who would want to manhandle him? It's evidence, facts of the case. Facts of the case, yes. You get one or two radio stations and radio discussions, people insulting him, yes. But apart from that, who is going to manhandle him? You're trying to tell me that when Ken Ofori-Atta sets foot at Kotoka International Airport, which I believe the name should be changed, set foot at Kotoka International Airport,
right?
They are going to bamboozle him. They are going to hold him in handcuffs. They are going to, police left, right. Come on. Ghana, we are a respected country. We shouldn't wash our dirty linen outside. We shouldn't.
Right.
Because it gives a picture that Ghanaian judiciary, because it's a politician, they will treat him bad. How will we treat him bad? One of the most important things for Ken Ofori-Atta today in that detention, he should be making his case of all the different charges that have been thrown at him. How many? How many was it? Is it 80 or is it 8?
78, I think.
78. And for me, this is not, a special prosecutor. This is not special prosecutor. But Attorney General has taken charge of the case, right? And he's there. And I hope when Ken Ofori-Atta comes, he's not going to have press conferences left, right, center. And I hope the MPP are not going to have press conferences left, right, center. And I hope nobody is going to rabble-rouse. His day in court will come.
Right.
The other side of the coin is that my good friend Sednam also.
Yes, Sednam.
So we understand she too should be brought in.
She will have a day in court tomorrow.
But you see, let's hope that we can keep this going. For any political party that comes into power, leaves power and has done wrong to the state, and they've run away, let's hope we can keep it going and have good relations with whatever country they go to. Look, if Ken Ofori-Atta hadn't left this country, by now, his thing wouldn't have been watered down. And remember, he makes his case worse because in politics, politicians sleep with odd bedfellows. He's made his case worse. If he had stayed here, by now, it would have been watered. We would have discussed all the issues over and over and over and over and over again. and it would not create the kind of tension it's creating now.
Okay.
Now, when Konofurata arrives, you hear the comments. Some is it a CSO said they are going to picket at the American embassy for the next 2 weeks or when? We don't need this.
Right.
That's why I felt his good cousin, the president, should have advised him, oh boy, you come. We are all here. The case will go to court. The thing is that on our end of the thing is that I foresee that Konofurata being in court will implicate quite a lot of people, including former President Akufo-Addo.
That's what you foresee?
Yeah. Yes. He was commander-in-chief. Are you trying to tell me that Atto-Forson does not communicate with President Mahama? During the budget, Atto-Forson made us know that the president read through the budget page to page, underline certain things and put certain things in. So whatever Konofurata did, not unless Ken would tell us that the president knew nothing about it, maybe, but definitely, as Minister of Finance, you have the right to go into every ministry because you give the money. So it will implicate other people. So let's see how it goes.
Interesting.
But he is innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely. Prince.
Oh, yeah. Thanks so much. Again, greetings to all your viewers. First time this year for me here as well.
I think so, yeah.
I was here a couple of times last year. Enjoyed my time. It's very concerning the way we have turned our justice system and issues. We've politicized it so much. I just heard my senior friend here, colleague, talk about things like he thinks that Ken's case is going to implicate the former president. I don't know when the now finance minister and others, including the Sunafo MP, Collins Dauda, and others, were in court. Did that implicate former President Mahama? I don't get that. You see, we throw these, if I could just finish for a moment, right? We throw these things out and then create a certain impression. At least, why don't we stop the hypothesis here?
It's not because of the gravity of the position he held as the man in charge of the public purse.
My brother, how does this, okay, again, when Atto-Forson was in court and he was the deputy finance minister at the time that his issues came up, how did that implicate President Mahama? Right? I'm not saying that nothing is impossible. Everything is possible, right? In this world. But why do we speculate like that? It's not right. Okay? If it does come up that the former president has something to answer, I'm sure we will all know, and Ghanaians will all be ready to hear it. But let's not speculate like that. Okay? It's just wrong. And we shouldn't go there. I mean, the case has to do with SML, as far as I know, and some 78 counts that has also come up. If you recall, before even the charges were laid, which I think has only happened in the last 2-3 months, all right, the same tactics were happening even before the case went to court. That Ken is running away from justice. He has a lot to answer.
Yeah.
And then now you've actually filed a case, and the case is in court. Have you heard anything about the case yet? Have we? Anyone? Have you?
Which case?
That the case that has been filed against Ken. We haven't heard the case, but every day
It's not important.
it's not important.
It's
but
not important yet.
so when a case is filed, and I'm sure the lawyers can answer that, because I've heard a few lawyers also talk about this issue. All right? Unless the court itself sends out a bench warrant, right? The individual doesn't have to be present for the case to continue. They have every right to also remain silent, unless they themselves volunteer to want to speak in their own self-defense, right? So, for us, we have no problem if Ken can come here, because it will simplify everything for everyone. Okay?
So you would also wish he who just come to settle matters?
Who wouldn't wish he was here? Because like he said, and I agree with him, if he's here, like other people, okay, charged, they go through the process. And at least we wouldn't be talking about extradition, we wouldn't be talking about ICE, we wouldn't be talking about visa and so on. Okay, but he's not here. And he left with permission that he obtained through the chief of staff of this government. Okay, and left at the time. There was no case that had been filed against him or brought up against him. And he went for his medical. We all saw how he had physical symptoms and ailments some time ago, right?
Yeah.
And his face, every Ghanaian saw that.
But we've moved beyond that.
Well, but
Because
you
now
know what,
the basis for not returning is no longer health issues.
okay, fine. But I'm just saying he left for
Granted.
his health and so on, and he has every right. And Ken is a man of substantial means, well before he ever got into an appointment situation, right? Every Ghanaian knows that. An entrepreneur. Well, he's an entrepreneur that had a data bank.
Data bank, yes. He
Which
founded it.
was even doing business with the government before Nanado's government came into power. Okay? So it's all fine to say that he went and now there's no medical reason why he hasn't come back. But I'm not able to. I'm not able to confirm that. That's
Right.
for him. We all know as of today. All right, there will be a hearing. We will get some more detail. There have been
yes.
speculations. I heard my colleague talk about it. That he has overstayed. His visa has been revoked. I understand he also has visa to 2 other countries. But I will end with this.
Okay.
It is false. It's a false impression to say that all has been well with our justice service delivery. It's not true. Okay, I think it's been Martin Amidu has written about it, that Yoko has been weaponized against opponents. And this is Martin Amidu of the NDC. He has even had occasions to write about this issue. We've seen Provincial, for example, was grabbed at the airport, embarrassed, arrested because he was attending a conference somewhere. He had been in the country for about a year, and he had not been invited by any of the state agencies. We have heard that they maintain a no-fly list for many MPP appointees without even communicating same to these people. Okay? This is what they are doing. And the bill under the MPP government, all Ghanaians should know that appointees were mostly given self-recognizance bail conditions. That's what the MPP did for the NDC. Now, the kinds of bail conditions that they are setting is literally making precedents, okay, no longer hold. Pebu versus Attorney General, I believe, set all those conditions right, that, you can't use a bail condition to basically hold someone. Put your charges in. Try these folks that you believe have done something wrong. Okay? And if you find the courts convict them, we take it from there. Just like 15 NDC appointees to date have been convicted in Ghana so far. It has happened. Those are convictions, including one which is setting up Tamaklo, who is in the US as we speak. And the government has shown more interest in bringing back someone who they hadn't even charged at the time they were looking for him, when they could have charged him. If the person has done something wrong, why don't you just have Ghanaians see the charges?
Right.
Right? Someone, I just forgot who it was, but he was making, I think it was Samson on News 5, was making this argument recently that if investigators meet a suspect, okay, sometimes even through the interrogation, they might even decide not to charge the person and so on. But that is up to that suspect to talk to them and perhaps explain things to them to their satisfaction.
Right.
But if the person elects not to do that, the state has every right to charge the person. This is a diversionary tactic, okay? They want to make it, seem this person has been convicted when they had not even filed anything against him before they were chasing him. And then after they did that whole thing, they now filed charges like some 2-3 months ago. And the case is not even moving, but they said he should come to answer. Please, he should come to answer to whom exactly? Why don't you, if this case is so solid,
right,
why don't we get the courts to expedite, action on it? And then we all know the facts of the case.
But like I said, that's why the Attorney General says that, yes, trial in absentia was an option, but they believe that with the gravity of the charges leveled against Ken, it would only be fair for him to be here. And that's why they have even triggered the extradition processes as well.
But is that in the law, that if you have a very serious case, that the person must be present? And if the person must be present, why don't you get a bench warrant? I mean, maybe the lawyers can educate all of us. Is the state not able to get a bench warrant? If you believe that there's an imminent threat or an imminent danger to national security or anything, you're not doing any of these. Okay, so trust me, this is all just propaganda. All right, it's meant to essentially convict the accused in the media space, as if he has been convicted of something, but he has not. And it's only the courts that do that. So please get the case moving. That is really crucial. And I'm sure that if the courts do say something negative towards Ken, no one is going to be in the way of the court. I don't believe that.
Well, Wanda,
bro,
he says it's diversionary tactic. All this whole brouhaha about Ken, we're just trying to, just pull wool over the eyes of Ghanaians. Nothing substantive there.
Good morning to you, my brother Safa, and my senior at the bar. Happy New Year to your producers and our viewers. I must say, I will start with a brief education because it's on immigration, and I'm an immigration practitioner. That's what I focus on. That's my specialty. Now, when we talk about visas, because the issue of his visa being revoked has come to the limelight, it's important to distinguish it from status. So you can have a valid visa in the US and still be illegally present in the US. So, for example, you are issued a 5-year visa and you're in the US. At the point of entry, you are given a status. So, let's say you are given, mostly for B1, B2, you are given a 6-month status. So, once you enter the US, even though your visa is valid for 5 years, if you stay there for more than 6 months,
you are there illegally.
You are there illegally. So, if you stay there for more than 6 months, of course, you can renew it by the completion of Form I-539. But once you don't do that, and you are in the US, after the 6 months, even though your visa is valid, you are there illegally. Now, what are the facts? Ken Oforiatta had filed for an adjustment of status from a non-immigrant status to an immigrant status. That is to say, he wanted to get a permanent residency, which we call the green card, because the color of the card is green, basically. So just to explain this. Now, what even made his matters worse is that even his visa was revoked. And the legal effect, when your visa is revoked, automatically your status
changes.
It's revoked. It comes with it. They move together. They're like twins. Now, on the issue of right of appeal, I see that my senior wanted me to comment on it. Basically, when a deportation order, so I'm sure because of the time difference, they will sit very soon.
Yeah.
They will be sitting very soon. If a deportation order is issued against him, the law is that you have 30 days within which to file an appeal to the Board of Immigration Appeals. You have within 30 days to do so. So just by way of explaining some brief immigration stuff.
Right.
And in Ghana, I've noticed, I mean, we have a lot of books on criminal law, contract law, but we don't have books on immigration. So I've written a book on immigration.
The immigration formula.
Yes, it will be launching
rules, packaging, and strategy.
Yes, yes. It was forwarded by Professor Larry DiMatteo of the University of Florida, and His Lordship Justice Yuni Kulindi, Supreme Court judge. Yes, Professor DiMatteo taught me at the University of Florida international business law.
Right.
And I have a very good relationship with Justice Kulindi. So they reviewed the book and stuff. We are launching it on my birthday, March 13th. yeah. This year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. March 13th.
Fantastic.
I'm expecting to see you there.
We will definitely be
Thank
there
you.
to support you as well.
Now to the Ken issue, aside the immigration stuff. Look, what is the point really? This is not the first time somebody has overstayed his visa in the US.
Yeah.
Why? Some of us schooled in the US. So we know Ghanaians, we met Ghanaians there, the Ghanaian community. You people will tell, oh, Charlie, me Kodjo mo me pepe so. So it's normal for people to overstay their visas. I mean, not just like Ghanaians. But why GHOne is an issue? It's because this is someone who supervises taxpayers' money. You see, the MPPs, they're trying to trivialize the issue that, oh, he's traveled. This is somebody that for the first time, you have a finance minister that his own MPs said he should be sacked. His own MPs said, look, this man is mismanaging the economy. The president should get him out of office. But you have his cousin, the president, retain him in the office. So this is the issue we are talking about.
What has that got to do with
Oh, my brother.
So the status of Ken Ofori-Atta matters. Who he is.
Yes,
or who
it
he
matters.
was.
It matters. And in fact, when they are reviewing your application for an adjustment of status, they consider so many things, including your reputation, your home country. What is discussed in the immigration book? They consider so many stuff. They kept shifting the goalpost. We were told that he had health issues. But when ICE detained him, they said they have examined that he's, in terms of health, he's fit to be at a detention center. Can the MPP have the moral courage to go to the people of Ghana to talk about accountability? If you're finance minister, is it the only person who has been finance minister even under the MPP? Don't we have Osafuma, Dr. Osafuma, former finance minister? Is he not in Ghana? Is Ken the only finance minister that we've ever had? In Ghana here, under Article 19, we are guaranteed fair trial. Fair trial. So when my senior spoke, he said, look, he's innocent until what?
Until proven guilty.
Yes.
But he doesn't trust based on the commentary surrounding this whole issue.
They say,
especially from NDC communicators, that we would deal with him, we'll prosecute him, we'll do this to him. So he doesn't trust the system.
The man even left this country before the transition process was completed. He left this country. Oh, he left before January 7th. Check. He left before January 7th. So when did those commentaries start? Yes, he left before January 7th. We have the facts. Yes, he left. I mean, you've been finance minister. The least you can do for your party is to come and account. Even deputy minister for finance. Look at how MPP took him to court and all of that. We were all in court. At the time I was in active practice. We were all in court. MPs would go and support him and all of that. So what is the fear? You see, what is the fear? And this is somebody, when they were in opposition. You remember Occupy Ghana? Occupy Ghana. Today, he will occupy the US court. Ken Ofori-Atta will occupy the U.S. court today. You see, my brother spoke nicely and ended with the issue of justice service delivery in Ghana. Me, I don't like comparing because I always want the best when it comes to matters of the courts. Because as a lawyer, I'm an officer of the courts. Look at how the Bandai case is being handled today and compare it to how the Asinov case was handled in this country. We were in court, Asinov. The former Attorney General was calling for a daily trial. Say, even criminals, do they try them daily? But Godfrey Dami, former Attorney General, then Attorney General, was calling for a daily trial in this country. We didn't talk about justice delivery. Today, people have the moral right to talk about justice delivery. But my brother Safai is I've said that he's an objective person, so I wouldn't want to go too hard on the MPP. Mm-hmm. So what I would say is that, in politics, perception is key. Perception is key. And that's what Senior said. He's even made his case worse. For me, I haven't seen any charge against him. I haven't seen I haven't seen it. That's a fact. I haven't seen the argument by AG. I haven't seen anything. But the perception is key. When we were in Lagos, sometime 2009, when the parties will try to convince you, join them, you go to TESCON, go to TIN, they will tell you, hey, and this is a violent party. This. Though I didn't believe at the time, but that was a perception. Today, can you say the same? No! Because of consistent and deliberate action. Today, NDC is seen, we've been able to capture the intellectuals and all of that. NDC,
funny guy.
NDC is very attractive. In fact, Mark Asibe Yeboah, in his argument, when he joined Kennedy Japan's team, he said his argument was that, look, the MPP now do not have control of the intellectuals, and that now it's only the street guys that they can have. So that is why he's supporting Kennedy Japan. Mark Asibe Yeboah. He said the main reason why the MPP should vote for Kennedy Japan is that the MPP has lost touch with the intellectuals and they have access to the street guys. So perception is key. So if you have a former finance minister who is not ready to stand trial, runs away on health grounds, goes and tries to change his status, he's arrested, detained, his health situation checked, that he's fully fit to be in detention. What is the perception? What do you expect Ghanaians to think? Even before the trial. And much as we have the court of competent jurisdiction, we also have the court of public opinion.
Right.
So it's important. The MPP must look at this. And I'm happy that some level-headed people within the MPP are saying that, look, it is in their own interest for Ken to come back. And I salute those people in the MPP.
Even Prince mentions that.
It is in their own interest for Ken to come back.
It's okay for Ken to come here.
You see, Arise Ghana.
Yes.
Do you know why they are doing this today? Yesterday I was on the show, and one of the organizers, Prince Derek J, he said that Ghana has qualified for the World Cup, and they will need visas for people to go and support Ghana. If it is the case that a former minister can travel and overstay his visa, won't it affect people's visa application? It will. So one of the reasons why he's calling people is that if you want your visa approved, come and let's tell the people that they should bring 10 back. Perception.
Right.
And immigration law, one of the key components discussed in this book is intention. You can have the document. So after you go for a US interview, they don't even check the bank statement and all they assess it, they try to ascertain your intention. Whether when you go, you come back. And these are all subjective.
Yeah.
And this perception and all those things have an influence. Even where you were born also have an effect. So, for example, if you're an Australian, then for example, you were to apply for a US visa that you're going to visit, you easily be approved because those pictures that you see somebody with a bag and all, that's what they do. But somebody from Nigeria or Ghana can also easily just say, oh, you're just going for a tour in the US and come back. Is he the perception? Is he okay? Yeah. It could be true that you're actually going to visit and come, but the perception is in Africa, you will not just wake up and say you are going to tour in the US. That's perception, and it works.
Ghana must go back.
Not never to return.
I'll pause here.
But let me clarify. When I talked about President Akufo-Addo could be implicated, if for nothing at all, National Cathedral. If for nothing at all.
Because it's one of the issues that
National
the
Cathedral. Listen, National Cathedral at the time of President Akufo-Addo's reign was not in the MPP manifesto.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of their manifesto. We were told that it was a conversation between President Akufo-Addo and God. And he promised God that if I win the election, this is what I will do. It's a subjective thing. And the state's money, 200 million, has been sunk in a hole. And you're telling me that President Akufo-Addo cannot be implicated in any way? That's what you're saying. Was it Ken Ofori-Atta who started National Cathedral? Was it Ken Ofori-Atta's vision, motive, intention? No. It was President Akufo-Addo's vision. And if state money has been sunk and not a pillar has been put up, why can't he be implicated? If for nothing at all.
Right.
DDEP, that I will understand. It's the economy. So that I can understand that. But National Cathedral, okay.
Prince.
Yeah, so just a quick one. Wanda said a couple of things. NDC had become so attractive because they've shed this perception of them being violent. We're all here in and around election day. Saw people being threatened left, right, and center. I mean, since when did NDC shed? They're just in power right now. So, I mean, please don't jump so fast because we haven't seen all those changes that you mentioned. We saw you live during the election the last time. And the moment that you were right on track to winning the election, we saw violence all over, the burnings and everything, pink sheets, getting lost. So please, let's not even go there. And, he said that Ken has nothing to fear and all that. We all saw his house was attacked. Do you remember?
The National Security Raid.
Yes. It so many people condemned that whole thing. All right? And we've seen what happened with Provincial. I think I didn't conclude that part of my conversation earlier on. He was arrested. He was taken in. Again, someone who, for almost a year, he was here. And no one found a need until he wanted to travel somewhere and said that he was actually arrested. And they put some high bail condition on him. He spent 2 weeks in cells. And since then, we've not seen any charges against him. It's what is going on.
So Ken has reason to not trust the system now.
It's only people who are falling for the NDC propaganda who would say that he doesn't have any reason.
Because the NDC argues that he's afraid because he knows that he has to account for quite a number of things.
Please, and I even heard him say that he needs to be accounting for his tenure.
Yeah.
Is that what we do? That he has to be accounting for his work.
Do you want me to respond?
Yeah, I would want you to respond because I don't know what kind of account that we do in our system. You have transition and then a handover. If the state has any issues, is there a hearing going on, a parliamentary hearing or anything that requires his input? So he needs to come to account exactly for what. Maybe he can tell Ghanaians what he needs to come and account for. Because as far as I know, and as I conclude, we hear so much that, and my senior colleague here just mentioned that the National Cathedral. The last time I heard there was an audit that was done, and there seems to be some, misunderstanding between government and the audit, and they want another audit done. All these things haven't been done, but you're here saying that there should be criminal charges.
I didn't say that. Please don't put words in my mouth.
You said that.
I did not say that.
Okay, maybe he can repeat again.
Then listen to me.
Well, he says if you talk about President Akufo-Addo being, or the likelihood of him being implicated, National Cathedral, for instance, when Ken has to account for that, clearly President Akufo-Addo's name will be mentioned as well.
There's been an audit. Okay? The responsibility and journalists need to do more. Because if you just say that someone needs to account or someone needs to be held responsible, you do that by either having some form of inquiry, okay, or a case against the person.
Well, I'm not sure if you've heard Attorney General. He was on Star Chat and he
Yes.
mentioned that, yes, with regards to the National Cathedral, all payments were made by Ken Oforiatta, for which reason he believes that it's part of the things that he must answer to.
Has he been charged?
Well, he says he needs him here. He needs Ken here.
He needs him before he could charge him.
Before
he has such a case against him, but he needs him here.
Yes,
to remain silent before he can charge
But
him.
to go to court.
Right. Let me give Wanda the final word on this, and we'll take a break and come back and talk about fuel prices as well. Wanda.
Yeah. You know that mostly opposition parties always call for accountability from governments. So I pose the question that if you have an opportunity as a former finance minister to be in court to account for your tenure and you fail, you travel out of the country, will your party have the moral courage? And for him to know, just by way of education, judiciary, the judges, cases in court help shape public policy. So whilst you defend yourself, the argument you make, by that you account for your tenure. So once a case has been filed against you, it's an opportunity for you yourself, because you can be acquitted and discharged. Person to your argument. So you will have the opportunity. In fact, public accounts committee sometimes even surcharge former public officers. They surcharge them. And talking about attacks and all of that, I don't see the attacks he's talking about. We're in these countries. Sometime 2017, when President Anado took over, the former deputy energy minister that has served as his PA, in 2017, his house at Committee 9, they went there at dawn. Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Jinapo. His kids then, JC and were very young. The children were traumatized. Did he run away? Did Honorable Dr. John Jinapo run away out of the country? No, he was here. The entire 8 years, he was here. So they've gone to Ken's house to do some surveillance, and you're talking about attacking because of that. He should be in the US. Hey, people were attacked at dawn. Honorable Dr. John.
He's talking about basis why he does not trust the system.
Wuntumi is in Ghana. Wuntumi. He goes to court, and when he's done, he says, clock in. That's what he does now. Wuntumi, clock in. He's free to the extent that he can do clock in. That's what Wuntumi does now. Ken is where?
Right, so Wanda Prince and Kwame Janto are here. We'll take a breather, but when we do return, we'll be talking about fuel pricing, because there have been conversations. We've heard from some OMCs that are talking about the price floor, and they're saying, listen, if MPA gets rid of that, perhaps we will see fuel prices fall further. And even with the reduction in fuel prices, it's limited to some stations, some outlets. Some have described it as illegal, though. Kwame Janto is here. We'll get more from him on that right after this break. So sometimes I really wish that the conversations we have off air is rather what comes on air. you get it, but I mean, it gets so interesting sometimes here in the studio. My guests are still here, Kwame Jantua, Prince Efa, and then Wanda Victor Kuto is here. His book is coming out on the 13th. He'll be launching it on the 13th of March. You see, I'm giving you free adverts. And that's the book, The Immigration Formulae, Rules, Packaging, and Strategy. Yeah, forward by Professor Larry Di Matteo and His Lordship Justice Yoni Kulendi. So this is the editorial copy. So for those of you who want to know more about immigration, this will be the immigration handbook. Congratulations on that, by the way. But let's talk about floor pricing, because recently we've experienced some reduction. I remember that we saw some stories couched saying, well, for the first time in a while, fuel prices have hit below 10 cedis, and the MPP says, well, people should stop that. In 2022, we experienced it. It's not something new. But then the difference now is that we are seeing it limited to some selected stations, and some have described that whole act as illegal, among others. The issue about the price floor mechanism and the formula. The MPA has been called upon by some OMCs to deal with that so that we can see a further reduction. And I've seen some posts that also suggest that, listen, if you really want to reduce prices, you will reduce prices. You will not be complaining about the price floor and all of that. But let me find out from Council. Mr. Jantua, really, is this a matter that we should be breaking heads over?
It's not a matter we should be breaking heads over. Now, I don't know why they are saying that we should do away with the price ceiling floor.
Yes.
Why? There's a reason for that.
Yes.
For that price.
So where we have a specific price that nobody can sell below.
Can't sell below.
Yes.
By the MPA.
By the MPA, yes.
And they are saying we should break it. Look.
So that we can reduce
fuel prices are down because of two reasons: the strength of the cedi and market prices in the world. That's the two reasons. The price floor that was brought in 2015 was to make sure that prices are the same throughout the country. And if you take away that price floor, you know what will happen? They are saying now, oh, we can reduce price, but certain things will happen. Cartelism will come in.
Right.
Because prices would rise. And when prices rise, anybody can do what? Price any amount at their petrol garages. It would just push prices up. And you know when prices go up, it affects most the northern part of Ghana. Northern part of Ghana. There will be disparities. The MPA brings a sound footing with that. And it was brought in to make sure that prices are not yo-yoing everywhere, but there's stability. So why do you want to take it away? Because you see, within what they are saying, is the OMCs who are triggering this through others. And those they are triggering it through, they also make their handsome money on the side. I don't say, I'm dead against it. Let's leave it as it is. It has served us well. And if for nothing at all, when prices go up, there is an institution we can go to and question, MPA. And they give us reasons. And if the reasons aren't palatable for us, we still push them to try and do something about it. And they'll tell you, okay, the next pricing window. So why do you want to do away with that kind of regulation? Because what, we've deregulated? Have we been able to stop Galamsey? Have we been able to stop Ghana? See, in Ghana, when certain things start taking, a hold, you then see that, shoom, things have gone up. Inflation has come down.
Yes.
Have prices come down?
No.
Food inflation has come down. Have prices come down? Why? Because people are greedy. People would tell you, and in fact, people are even saying, when you go to some petrol stations, that some of the prices have been reduced. They will tell you that the in-tank petrol there was bought before this thing happened.
Yeah.
So we've kept the prices as they are. But prices have to fall as things are falling. Prices will rise as things rise up. When inflation goes up, prices go up. But the MPA's situation there is to make sure that we have uniform prices. And in fact, those prices, if you are reducing prices, you've got to reduce prices within your own area. I mean, in terms of petrol garages, within your ANA. Because right now, the OMCs, there's a price window. You can decide to go below that price window. Depends on your costing. But you can't go above because it's sealed. And now if you go below that pricing window, it shouldn't be in just one area. It should cover most of your petrol garages.
Right.
But sometimes it goes down in one area, and certain areas still have a different price.
In fact, that's what is happening now with the two OMCs. In fact, when they put out their statements, they both indicated that the new prices, which were below 10 cities, will be reflected at some selected stations.
And that is not what the law says. It has to cover all your stations. But why do we want to move that? Because of what? Because we make more money? Because we can hike up anytime? No.
So I think because the argument for the removal of the floor price was that we can sell at 9 cities 50 pesos.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We can sell at 9 cities 50 pesos. Yes. And the alternative is that we can sell at 16 CDs 50 pesos. Right. Is that not the alternative? It would fluctuate. It won't always be low. Right now, two things: the strength of the cedi and world market prices are down. So definitely, it's reflecting. If the strength of the cedi goes into a spiral and prices start going up, it's up to MPA to now work out the pricing, the next pricing window, to make sure that fuel doesn't go higher than the ordinary man can afford. Look, we find it difficult living in Ghana because not a lot of people are paid well. The pay structure in Ghana is abysmal. Not a lot of people are paid. Ask your people here, your cameramen, or ask them, how much do they get every month to make them be able to say, yeah, we're having a good life? No. Our system is such that it doesn't create this kind of opportunity where people's salaries go up, every year.
Right.
So it can be challenging. Hence, 2015, this was brought in to make sure that at least, if for nothing at all, everybody can afford fuel to go up and down. Look, and I'll end on this. The development of a country is not only based on adding value to your natural resources and all that. The development of a country is based on the kind of transportation system you have.
True.
You have a good transportation system. People can come and go. People can walk out free. It builds the economy. Go to other countries. Go to the UK today. In the UK, I sold my car. Why? Because my house was next door to a tube station. 2 minutes I'm at the tube station, I'm gone. I don't need a car. Makes things easier. So if you have a situation where transport prices are high, roads are not built well, it creates challenges. Aren't we facing it today? At least if for nothing at all, fuel prices are down. And if for nothing at all, we should try as much as possible to help bring together good public transport system. All that would bring prices down for us in terms of our economy. So for me, I'm still for MPA. That price floor should be kept.
Should be kept.
Yes.
Right. Prince.
Yeah. So with respect to the price floor, honestly, I don't know a whole lot about why they said it. What I know is that as at 2022, for example, I was doing some research. I saw that crude was around $90 a barrel. And at that time, too, the dollar was 6.7. It's in 2020, early 2022, just about the same time, this time in 2022. And fuel was retailing at that time at just about 7 cedis a liter. Okay. Today, we're sitting at around the exchange rate. The dollar is 10.79. checked it. And fuel in some places 9.99. And the crude at the moment it's been fluctuating a little bit, but I think recently shot up a bit to 65, right? But generally crude has been around 59, 57 to 59 for some time. So generally what we're seeing is not necessarily anything unexpected, all right? In fact, if you look at the liter of fuel, it almost seems to go with the dollar. The dollar is value. Except that now crude is actually cheaper at the moment. So maybe it's the de-levy that is making things a little more expensive. Maybe it's the price floor. So the reasoning behind the floor is something that if we, in a sustainable fashion, continue to have these conditions work for Ghana at the moment, then we need to look at it. Because I don't know if there's any kind of fund that they're using. If we don't find a way to sort of let the country benefit with some funding or something that we put aside, as soon as the conditions change, okay, if they do, the prices will be going up, because I haven't heard of also a ceiling. I've only heard of a floor.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Because so what I mean is that if really all things being equal, fuel should be about 8 cedis right now. Okay? Based on, as I said, they tend to go with the dollar and the crude. And if you look at the past conditions, like I did in 2022 and compare it to now, it seems like it's higher than it should be. Okay? If that indeed is the case, then the floor at some point may have to be looked at, because when things go the other way, I don't think that they are going to stop. In the next price window, the price will go up again.
That's how MP now comes in to make sure that even if it is high, they can put it at a certain rate that is affordable.
Right, that's why I mentioned fund. Yeah. So I they have to have a way to make sure.
It's not more a fund,
Okay.
It's because we import a lot of petroleum products.
Yeah.
And that creates capital flight. That creates a situation of the cost of oil coming in. Ideally, what should happen now that TOR is working?
Yeah.
A certain percentage of Ghana's crude, and unfortunately, the Revenue Management Act would have to be at least amended to get that going, because we've done it before. A certain percentage of Ghana's crude should be given to TOR, because TOR is now a tolling institution where you can bring your crude in and they will refine for you. BDCs should be given the chance to bring crude in to give to TOR.
Instead of importing the finished product.
Because importing the finished product is capital flight.
Yeah.
The dollars that we have here is what they now have to use to go and buy, and the dollars are not enough.
But what I'm saying is that if we are not careful, and there's a certain amount that we're overpaying, I use that loosely, in that maybe the prices, as I said, should be further down, okay? But we have this floor. Then the question is, for how long can we really benefit if the tables turn and prices are going up? That is a key question. So I think if this continues for some time, if we don't have any way of letting the consumers benefit further when things go the other way around, then after a certain point in time, then we have to look at bringing down the floor. I hope you get what I mean.
Right.
It all depends on how the conditions. Petrol is not determined by government per se. It's determined, as my senior colleague said,
exchange rate and then
the exchange rate.
Crude.
Right. Government has had some interventions, okay, which has also brought down the dollar a bit more than it otherwise would be organically. Okay, so from that perspective, government has impacted the fuel price a bit. Okay, but the bottom line is, if we're not careful, and the prices should be further down, but we don't remove this floor to allow consumers to benefit, when things turn around, consumers wouldn't get any further benefit. They may be able to stabilize it for a bit, but maybe not that long. It all depends on how long the conditions prevail.
Every month there are price windows. So
it's just a month or so, right?
There are two pricing windows in the month.
Yes, in a month.
Yes. In the month.
Yes.
So, it's
they,
not a whole lot.
they monitor it.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. For now, I don't think I think it's too early to remove the floor.
Right.
But they have to continue to watch how the conditions are going to be. And if it is that people are paying more than they even should be, then we're okay with bringing down the floor a bit more so that consumers can benefit.
Because at some pumps now, people are being served breakfast after buying fuel.
Maybe they're making more money than they should. That's what I'm saying. Because remember, when the CD, as I mentioned, was about 6-7.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what happened somewhere around Nima Junction yesterday.
Okay.
You buy fuel, you get breakfast.
Yeah, I heard. But I'm saying that if the CD was 6-7, okay, and no, it's not that simple. and the fuel was 7 CDs, okay, then now we're at 10.
Yes. All
right, and fuel is around 10. But I'm saying that crude has come down way more than it was as at 2022. Right. At that time, it was about $90 a barrel. Today, it's about 65.
Right.
Okay, so it should be further down.
Okay.
So no wonder they're giving you tea and other things, because they with the floor there, it's actually a little more higher.
So
price.
you believe that we could be paying even less for
I just
a liter?
gave you the my analysis.
Right.
And
so wonder how is this? How is this?
Remember, just a minute.
Yes.
Remember that world market prices do not stay low all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
They would go up sometimes. And when it goes up sometimes, you need a situation where that can be controlled. Otherwise, you get explosion of prices everywhere. Yes.
So that's why I'm saying that we have to look at it for a certain period of time.
Okay.
And if it continues like this, then they need to allow for.
But that's why we have the 2 windows.
The 2 windows in the month.
So we will
see.
Yeah.
Wonder.
Bro.
You say this is attributed to Aban Papa Aba.
Of course. You see, me, bottom line, I'm happy that the fuel prices is down. I'm happy. I only pray that the owners of these filling stations do not do this alteration. Some will use water, try to mix it and all of that. That's my only prayer. And that one, normally government do not have that control. So the NPA, the regulator, should take cognizance of some of these things, so that people do not take advantage of the system. But as for the price falling, me, I'm not surprised, because President Mohammed has put competent people in charge. The Honorable Dr. John Jinapo, Energy Minister, and our Finance Minister, they've brought discipline into the energy space. So that's why everything is going very well. So me, I'm not surprised. To get to a time, bro, I'll be honest with you. When you go and buy fuel, you eat fufu. Ombo fufu amoidi. They will give you jollof. But now it's breakfast. You wait. But we are here by July. By July, when you go and buy fuel, they will give you fufu. Even the voter, they will give you akple. Akple.
And about bitazi.
If you go to so Papa there, when it comes, it reflects everywhere. But there's one more thing that I always keep saying. Another MPP. You see, President Mohammed has made things so good that we forget what we went through in the last 8 years. Another MPP. Everything. Russia-Ukraine war. If MPP was still in power, you see this thing that happened at AFCON, where the Senegalese players walk off, Diaz missed the penalty. It would have been a reason for the fuel to go up. If the MPP were in power.
Now it's proper.
No. If the MPP were in power, that penalty miss. The penalty miss and the Senegalese players going off the park would have been a reason for the fuel to go up. When they were in power, they said Russia-Ukraine war. So many things that were not connected. They said that was the reason. Meanwhile, Togo, Ivory Coast, fuel were going down. I asked myself, so after them, the Russia-Ukraine war didn't affect them. That's what we faced though under 8 years of MPP. But we thank God.
Can I respond?
You don't. This is how you will respond. This is why you don't have to respond.
So, again, you look at the crude oil prices, 2022.
Yes.
It shot up to over $120
US dollars a barrel.
So it wasn't Russia and Ukraine, and it wasn't some abstract that you're trying to throw dust into the eyes of the audience with. Okay? It was real. $120 versus $60 average that we're seeing right now. Isn't that about double? Yeah. Okay? And those same things also, the same factors, because we're a very heavy importer of fuels. And so the dollar itself, the exchange rate was also going up around that time.
Right.
That's why we had a crisis. So it's not funny to just belittle that whole thing that, it's like a penalty kick. People really suffered at the time. And it was a crisis. It was a serious global crisis. You know how much oil Russia produces a day? You know how much? About 10.5 million barrels a day. Russia, getting close to 11 million barrels a day. In Ghana here, our crude, we only produce about 100,000. About 100,000 barrels a day.
But he talks about the prudent management as well.
When an embargo is placed on 11 million barrels of oil a day, no wonder you saw, as I mentioned, crude oil. Yes.
Is the embargo working?
There was an embargo.
But is it working?
Sorry? At the time when the embargo was placed,
right.
I'm talking about 2022.
Right.
This is when the fuel went short up. Okay?
So
before
those
that,
are
I just told
reasons.
you, it was 7 cities.
Absolutely. I get that.
Early in 2022.
Okay.
And then a crisis hit, and then there was...
So we cannot discount the crisis.
Well, they are sitting here. And even my senior colleague here mentioned that the crude does eventually have an impact. And then the dollar rate.
Okay.
Okay? So
Right.
if you haven't had a crisis yet, you can just continue to enjoy. And we thank God for that.
Wonder.
Oh, like he said, the Russian-Ukraine war has stopped. So there's nothing to fear. But bottom line, the performance of the economy is clear. Look at how we've stabilized the cedi. At the time they were leaving power, the exchange rate was what? Close to 17 cedi.
No, it's not.
So it was what?
It was around 14.
That's
about 14.
Granted that it's 14. No, I mean.
But today it's fallen to
about 10. Yes.
No, it's
3.
Yes.
I just said today it's 10.79. Don't say.
Let's even use your upper limit.
It's 10.
10.8. Let's even use your upper limit. 10.8. You left power with. Let's even use your lower limit. 14. Clear difference.
So.
And I'm telling you that the performance of this government is what has caused the fuel to drop. Of course, there may be international factors. But those factors that you mentioned affected you were neither here nor there. Because Togo, Ivory Coast, prices were falling when you were claiming and relying on Russia-Ukraine war. And you see, the NPP communicators, respectfully, have been trained in such a manner that even in opposition, they are still hanging on to the things that made them lost the election. Even in opposition, they are still hanging on. Instead of them doing self-reflection, apology. Okay, their flag bearer has apologized to Ghanaians on several platforms. In fact, Kennedy Japan has also said, look, we are sorry, we didn't. I mean, they say the arrogance of power. They've apologized. Some have done well. But some of their communicators are still holding on to the factors that made them lost the election. They're still talking about Russia-Ukraine war, those blah, blah, blah. Togo, Ivory Coast, they had their fuel going down around the same time. You've had your time. You've had your time. You are talking about evidence.
No, but you haven't shown any evidence. You have none.
Now you want us to bring exhibit here?
Yeah, give us the price. What was the price?
You want us to bring evidence?
What was the price? I came in, I gave specific information.
Because we need to talk about our last one before we make way.
I have given facts. I have stated that the exchange rate now is a major determinant for the price to fall. You have gone ahead to even point to me that the exchange as of this morning is 10.73, and I agreed with you. And I'm saying that per that fact that you have stated here, it's a major factor that has made the fuel at the pumps to go down. So I'm not surprised that today when you go to buy fuel, they give you tea, cocoa, and all of that. For me, my prayers are when I get to vote and I'm buying fuel, I want a plan. I want akple, yakayake. That is what I want when I go to voter region to buy fuel. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Mr. Jantwa, I'm glad to start this topic.
You're starting again with me.
Yes, because you talked about it earlier. That has to do with transportation issues.
Yes.
You mentioned the situation in the UK, for instance. Now, yesterday I had a conversation on State of Affairs with the managing director for Metro Mass Transit, and I was finding out about the public transport system. And he made a lot of revelations as to what he met and how they are transitioning. Recently, we've seen the spike, and he mentioned strangely that what we are seeing is not because vehicles are broken down.
You've seen the spike in what?
The people clamoring for vehicles and able to get these vehicles. And he says, well, it's not a shortage of vehicles. It's only because, like Wanda said earlier, so the economy is booming and people are trooping in now to do business. From where you sit, is that what you also
Let's
see?
do things right. We need an effective public transport system, number one. Number two, we understand government has ordered, 300 buses from Egypt, bringing the buses in. But let's look at the other way. Now, what's the other way? We have car industries in this country that are being assembled here.
Yes.
That should be the point of call. We had, what was our bus system called? The buses we were manufacturing here. New plan. We had new plan in this country. Revive it so that we assemble the buses here, makes it cheaper, and we can distribute a lot of buses into the country. One of the major challenges that we have in this country is encroachment. So we can't expand the roads.
Yeah.
We cannot expand the roads.
We tried BRT.
Yes. Look at the motorway today. There's been encroachment, but they have tried their best to expand it to a certain extent to get the kind of lanes that we need to move traffic. So let's say they finish the motorway. They have 4 lanes each side. Once these lanes now get into Accra, what happens? It dovetails into 2.
Yeah.
What does that create? It starts creating traffic. We need to have a plan for public transport. And some of the things I think we should look at is, let's have probably a 3-4 bus system with different prices. What would make me park my car to take public transport? If I feel I'm part of the elite, class, I would want a bus that I sit in is comfortable. I want a bus that is on time.
Yeah.
I want a bus that is clean, and I'm prepared to pay for that kind of service. So have a bus like that. Have a bus mid, have a bus lower, different prices. So based on your pocket, you will decide to take what bus. But it has to be on time and regular. Most importantly, you have to have a maintenance culture that any time a bus breaks down, it's replaced, and the one that is broken down is taken off the road and fixed within a short duration of time. Then you build it up. You then see, when people now get accustomed to it, what will they do? They'll start parking their cars. True. As you bring in that bus system, you now think of a tram system. I won't even say train. A tram system. Trams are on roads. Yeah. A tram system where it's on rail. So people can offer to take a tram. If you are going to Abri, you can take a bus to a certain point and from there take a tram. But there has to be a plan. It starts with a plan. And because this is a national issue, political parties should speak with one voice. Because it's national. Yeah. Look, I keep saying, those issues that are real national issues, transportation, energy, health, accommodation, those agriculture, food, they are national issues. As parties, we should speak with one voice. One voice. So that gradually, as we transition, parties coming in we get some kind of uniformity in what we do.
Absolutely.
So for me, where transport is concerned, let's speak with one voice. I don't like the situation of having trotros everywhere. Of having Okada whizzing through traffic all the time. If you had an effective transport system, all this won't happen. But the politician will say, it creates jobs. It can create jobs if you have an effective public system. Look, when I was growing up, and I'm older than all of you here, when I was growing up,
Yes.
I could time my waking up and going to school by the bus. Because at 7, the bus will be at the bus stop.
Yeah.
So I know what time to wake up, and I know what time to get to the bus stop, and the bus will come at 7 on the dot. It's gone wrong. Let's try and rectify it.
Right. Absolutely.
Because really and truly, all this question about transport fares going up, transport fares coming down, will be a thing of the past. Because you have an effective transport system. When you go to the UK, I'm sure you've been to the UK. No, you've not been to the UK. You've been to the UK, haven't you? One day you've been to the UK.
Yeah.
There's a street called Oxford Street. When you stand at Oxford Street and you look right down, going down to Marble Arch, see the number of buses alone on that street. Buses, different buses going to different areas on that particular street. It goes to show you they have an effective public transport system. And the cost is reasonable. But for me, most of all, to have an effective bus transport system is maintenance.
True.
Let me give you a typical example of police cars. President Mohammed, when he came, hasn't he bought police cars? President Akufo-Addo, when he came, didn't buy police cars. Before President President Akufo-Addo came, President Mohammed was there, he bought police cars. President bought police cars. Go to police depots and see the number of cars that are spoiled and are put on
The maintenance culture.
Maintenance culture.
Terrible.
So to have a good public transport system, you have to have a good maintenance culture.
Absolutely. Well, Prince.
Yeah, so senior colleague makes a lot of good points. All right, I've looked into this issue, and I've heard Cuts Africa, for example, talk about the issue, and they made a very good point about it. Okay, we, in terms of regulation and management, all right, we have a fundamental issue, so that needs to be looked at. Again, it hadn't been done to date, but the current government needs to look at it, since governance is a continuum. All right, we don't have a commission or an agency that coordinates and oversees our transport system properly. Most of these are, as far as I could understand, are disjointed, all right, from one municipality to the other. So we need to look at that. If you go to Toronto, for example, in Toronto, in Canada, they have the TTC. Then in other places, they have other systems, transit systems,
Right.
and they do the coordination so that I've even heard that there's an LI 2180 that applies in terms of licensing, making sure that we have the right sizing of vehicles to different areas of the city. So we can't just continue what we have been doing without some transit authorities and so on. And they have identified that as a major issue that needs to be looked at. So let's hope that the government will take that up. We can start from Accra and then move on to other urban areas as well, and make sure that we have a lot more smarter management of our transit system.
Right.
And I'm sure that that's going to add the maintenance culture. I don't have anything to add. Clearly, it's been a problem. We need to do more of that. And if we do all these things, I don't believe that this is because government, the economy is booming. The economy is not booming. GDP is what, 4.3 provisionally for the country. The previous year it was 5.7. Lots of people don't have money in their pockets. We all heard things are dry. It's true. Traders are complaining. Inventories are sitting in the warehouses and people are not buying. You can ask all the business people. Cocoa farmers are crying. They haven't been paid in an unprecedented way. They haven't gotten paid for since before Christmas. Please pay them. And the same goes for many farmers who, because of the relatively overvaluation, as some economists are calling it, of the cedi, safer. People who are bringing in
so this is not as a result of the economy booming at all.
No, it can't be. The population is growing. And we need to continue to plan. All right, as I mentioned, cuts have given a clue as to one of the key things that exist in the advanced economies.
Right.
We need to begin to bring that, have a transit system across all the urban areas that will bring a lot more good management practices, scheduling and licensing and all that, to make sure that some areas don't have too much service, and others also don't have enough.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, Prince, thank you. Now let me give you another final word on this.
Oh yeah, basically when you talk about transport, I have the view that we need to have a broader national strategy. For example, as Senior said, if you were to go to London, for example, if you decide to drive on the street or at a particular point in time, period, you pay because you're expected to use the train. So if you decide to drive, you make payment, and the government uses that money to develop the road. I live in Tema. My view is that we do not all have to be driving on the motorway to Accra. We can just go and park at the center, Committee 1, join a train or bus to Accra. Then when we close, we join the bus to Committee 1, pick our vehicles, and go home. These are ways that can help improve the transport system in Ghana. But just to list some achievement of this government, and this is a government that within 1 year, I mean, for the first time under the Fourth Republic, there's no scandal. For the first time, you understand? We have paid 369 million Ghana cedi for the nursing training allowance. We have paid 21 million under the National Apprentice Program. We have paid 34.5 million Ghana cedi for the Ejumara program. You understand? When it comes to the education sector, 300 million Ghana cedi has been paid for the no fee stress policy. Right. So we are honoring our manifesto. Right. You understand? Right. 1 billion has been paid towards the free SHS. You know, they say we're going to cancel the free SHS and all of that, but we have invested. Yes. Yes. 2.9 billion paid to get fund. Right. So this is the government that is keeping its promises. Right. We said we are going to work with system ministers. Today we have less than system ministers. Unlike some regime that had over 100-something ministers.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you.
Your
compensation
Victor Kuto
has gone from 63 to $90 billion.
Oh my goodness. Prince Efa and Kwame Jantua, who is a member of the Convention People's Party, the CPP. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. And thank you also for being a part of this. I just had to say that. Well, we'll go for a quick break. When we do return, Lily Mohammed will be sitting with Dr. Yawase, the MPP's flag bearer race. Break it down for you, get to understand his vision as well. Stick and stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is GH Today here on GHOne TV. It's 11 days to the NPP's major decider on who leads the party in 2028. It's been a campaign that has been characterized by a lot of allegations, counter-allegations, and so many of the party faithfuls are now looking for the one person who will unify the party after January 31. Who will it be? It's now time for Hard Talk. And on Hard Talk this morning, I've been joined by one of the hopefuls for the flag bearer slot, Dr. Yasser Duchum. He's also a member of parliament for the good people of Bosom in the Ashanti region. Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel good.
You feel good?
Very, very good.
If the elections were held today, how do you feel?
I feel I will win.
You will win?
Yes. I believe in divine providence, and I have faith in the people. We are looking for a leader who will change this country first and foremost, and they are also looking for a leader who will be able to unify the party. And I believe that I'm the one who can bring that unity, because I'm not a source of any acrimony. I'm not saying a bad thing against anybody. I'm just selling myself to them. So when I go before the delegates, it's all about Dr. Duchum getting them to understand who I am, where I'm coming from, what I have done, and what I will do when they give me the opportunity. That's my simple message.
Okay, we'll get to the nitty-gritties of what you will do after you become the flag bearer after January 31, and then eventually, if you win, to become a president. 11 days to go. How has the campaign been crisscrossing the country? What are delegates telling you?
Delegates are seeing and hearing from somebody that they actually trust and believe. Some of them will say, oh, we've seen you on TV all the time. Now we're seeing you in person. Delegates also say that if you were able to handle the largest ministry in the country and have done well in education, we believe that you can also do well when we hand you the whole country. Talking along the lines of what Margaret Thatcher did. She was an education minister, secretary for education, and then she became the prime minister of UK. And we know her record and the kind of things that she was. Education teaches you something. Teaches you humility, teaches you to understand how to work with people. If you handle the Ministry of Education, that is not a place where you can go and just brush aside things and don't respect people. No, you won't succeed that way. You go with respect, but you have to have a backbone of steel where you are fully determined to do something and you do it. And at the end, for the country to see. So when I walk on the street and meet people and they say, Dr. Yedawase, then I say, why are you thanking me? We are thanking you for your service to Ghana. That to me is more than anything that I can gain in this life, when people appreciate what you do, especially in government, because many times it's a thankless job. But when people are thankful, then you have to be thankful that God has smiled on you. So I believe the delegates are beginning to recognize that if they don't get somebody who is a unifier, somebody, no faction will say, I'm not coming to you because of how you treated my leader. If they don't get that kind of a person, we are in trouble. Because at the end of the day, the person wins and you have a faction within the party. Silent army against the victor. Because the silent army is saying, we are here. We're not going to say anything. We're not going to tell you anything. You just made
a very profound point about delegates asking for service. And many are questioning your service to the New Patriotic Party. What have you sacrificed? How have you
What have I sacrificed? I'll tell you one thing. Around 5 p.m., I had traveled to Bolgatanga to go and talk about Free Senior High School. The event somehow did not even come on. I was coming down past Tamale. It was about 5 p.m. in the Bupe area. I saw armed men by the roadside shooting at my vehicle. I may not be sitting here in front of it had it not been by divine providence. I almost lost my life. Bullets in my car. I have served this party so well to the extent that I almost sacrificed my life. The by the time we got to the nearest police station and stopped, our tires went flat. They were shooting at the side where I sat. They were shooting into the tires. My driver was just going left and right, left and right. My sister, I was almost killed.
Okay.
So if you're talking about sacrifice, I almost got the ultimate sacrifice. But beyond that, 1992, when New Patriotic Party was founded here, I had just arrived in America.
Okay.
We also founded a branch of the party in the United States of America. And in California, we formed a chapter. At that time when our party was emerging here, the party didn't have much resources because we've been in opposition for too long. We contributed, all of us, every party member there, to support the party in Ghana. A lot of contributions were made to support the party. President Kufuor came. Nana Addo Kufuor came. In fact, it was the encounter with him in California that brought me back to Ghana. When he came to share his story of how he wants to transform Ghana with us. We did it in the auditorium of one of my schools. By the grace of God, I had built schools in California sponsored by the government of the United States of America. We met him in one of the auditoriums of my school. He couldn't believe that a Ghanaian was building schools in America, and he asked me a simple question: would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? Eventually, I end up in Ghana. He makes me a deputy minister. He personally recruited me to come back because he saw that America was the first nation to do free secondary education, and that there was something about the strategy that they had adopted that I could use in supporting the whole free senior high school agenda. So you hear of double track. We called it in America year-round schooling. So I came purposefully, left an organization employing 200 workers, left an organization with millions in budget, to come back to support the vision of Nana Addo Kufuor, free secondary education, education transformation, and I came. If you look at what people were telling me, that why would you leave this comfort zone, riding in nice cars, go back to an uncertain territory, a terrain where nothing is certain, a terrain where you never expected people to be thankful. Come back and support. And so I was happy when at the end we were able to do some good things in education, and I was happy when at Adaklu, Independence Day, March 6, 2023, the president asked me, selected me, to join the second vehicle to inspect the parade.
Oh, so that's your school in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
one of the schools in the U.S.
Okay.
So when the president asked me to join him, in fact, after he took the salute, he was waiting. I didn't know why he was waiting. Then his bodyguards rushed to the podium and to the platform, the dais, and they asked me, come down, come down. I thought maybe something was happening with the students in the parade. When I went down, Lord Comey said, today the president wants you to join him in inspecting this parade. When I sat in the next car with the chief of defense staff and the president in the front, I said to myself, if you serve your nation and your president says, you serve me well, join me. It's an honor. And it made the sacrifice of coming back worthwhile. So at the end of the day, I have sacrificed. And when it comes to working for party members and the party and your constituents, there's so much to be said about what Dr. Ayaw Sedichum has been able to do.
You think your track record with Free Senior High School will make delegates choose you?
My track record is not just Free Senior. I supported Free Senior High School. I was not the minister then. But when it comes to STEM education, when you come to that transformative agent that other countries have used in changing their fortunes, it's my record. But also, one of the things that the delegates tell me, that you communicated so well about government policy, you've done so well for our party. And one thing that they all say is that because of what you've done in education, We know that if the whole country is given to you, you'll be able to do it. So the delegates have confidence in me because of the work that I did. And in fact, beyond the delegates are also looking at what Ghanaians are thinking. Because they know they are not selecting just a flag bearer. They are not selecting a party chairman. If you are selecting a party chairman, you are selecting it for yourself as a party. But when you are selecting a flag bearer, you are selecting somebody for the whole country. So you always have to ask yourself, given his demeanor, given his accomplishment, given his name recognition, will middle class voters like this man? Will independent voters, middle voters, floating voters, like this man? Will teachers and other professionals look at him and say, this man has something for us? So essentially, the delegates are being reminded, and we are talking to them, that don't just look at somebody you are selecting for its own sake. Look at your selection as a first step of presenting somebody to Ghanaians. And I'll tell you a story of what happened the day before election, the last election. There's a news media guy who was going to observe elections at Asankregwa in the Western region. He was coming from Western North, Enchi. He said they were in a bus, and there was a huge argument in the bus. Majority of the people in there said they were not going to vote. Then the driver said, I'll vote. And he actually sent me the record. And then they asked the driver, why are you going to vote? He said, I'm voting because of Dr. Duchum. The work that this man has done for our country, I would hate to see his government lose for him not to continue.
So what do you have for us Ghanaians? I mean, we've seen education, STEM. Even with education, currently we're witnessing a downward spiral with regards to results, especially in WASI. And you have attributed that to unsupportive management policies. GS has come out to downplay that. But for education, what is your policy?
My education policy is very simple. I mean, the WASI, we can discuss this and debate it. But if I have best practices that you didn't do, if I have examiners who were training teachers to avoid mistakes that were made, and you come and you don't do it. If there was money set aside that enabled teachers to teach after school for free, so far the students were concerned, they didn't pay anything, and you came and you didn't pay that money, 165 million, you didn't pay it to the teachers to do the extra classes. Then when they don't do well, you say, it's your fault, my fault. I had a blueprint for you. You chose not to follow. So that's a debate for another time. But I'll tell you one thing, my sister. We have to look at the gaps that currently exist in the education system that we were not able to fill when we were there. We brought STEM education. Look at the buildings that we did. Now the issue is, are we implementing? Are the equipment going to the schools so that you can truly do STEM education?
Was there enough equipment left behind?
Of course. We procured a number of the schools that we did. But some of them, the buildings were not completed. So this government has to ensure that it's completed. Go to Accra STEM Academy. If you look at the building there and the equipment, the furniture, everything was procured, has been supplied. So what I'm saying is this. The STEM gap is when you look at senior high schools that can offer STEM program. We started off a pilot. You go to Presec, they are doing engineering. If you go to Opokwari, they are doing engineering. But I wanted more schools to select which areas in STEM that they wanted to do. If you look at STEM education, you are looking at students who are doing aviation and aerospace. Go to Efiakubi girls in Ashanti region. Girls are developing drones and they are flying drones in this country. You go to other schools, Bosomchi girls, they are doing biomedical sciences. So we need to move beyond the pilots to a phase where all schools will be offered the opportunity to select an area of specialization in the STEM fields and do the practicals. Fly the drones, not just describe how a drone can fly. But we are talking about get the drone, design it, build it, get it to fly and come back to land. That is the kind of education we need. That's the kind of education China is doing, Singapore is doing. No longer chew poor pass and forget. But if you're going to do that, you have to work closely with the West African Examination Council. You have to be interested in what they're doing. My sister, if you look at STEM, the exams, it's not WAEC that is doing it, because I wanted it to be hands-on. It's Ghana Commission for TVET Service that is doing the final exam for the STEM schools. Because I realized that if you give it, it's going to be paper and pencil exam to describe a drone.
Will that also mean that if you are president tomorrow, you'd also rethink our West African examination setting and make it tailor-made to Ghanaian setting?
You see, the West African is fine. There's nothing wrong with West African Examination Council. But what we need to do is that we should be able to let the examination authority know that this is what we want coming out from our children. Because, you see, the sad thing is, when we introduce a new career at the BEC level, every country does their own exam. When we introduce new courses, creative arts and all those things at the BEC level, when we were going to do the first exams, I asked WAEC to come and do a demonstration to me, the kind of questions that are going to come on the exams. My sister, I was shocked to know that in spite of the fact that we had changed the curriculum and wanted it to be more hands-on, more at the critical thinking level, the sample questions that they brought to show to me had nothing to do with critical thinking. It was still at the lowest level possible. In education, you always have to really move up in terms of thinking. So you begin with remembering that what you taught the child, can they remember? That's the lowest level. Then you move on to a level where you say, can the children understand what I've taught them? Then the third level is when you say, can they apply? Then you move on to the level where can they create? Analysis and synthesis, and then you go to creating. That is the highest level of learning. But when they brought the exams, that was with sample questions that were going to be administered. I was surprised to see that 20 out of the 40 questions was on remembering. 10 was on understanding. The other 10 on application. No synthesis, no evaluation, no creating. So that's when I told them that this is a case where the tail is wagging the dog. Because we as a country have told you that we want our children to be critical thinkers. But when the exams was done, critical thinking was not being assessed. So what it means is that the following year, if I had not intervened, teachers will not teach at the critical thinking level. But as I famously said, which went viral at the United Nations, we cannot memorize our way out of poverty. But we can critically think and innovate out of poverty. So you really have to keep an eye on WAEC. If your nation wants to develop critical thinkers, you have to begin to take, how is the exams helping you develop critical thinkers? If it's not, and you don't know, you are in trouble. So we cannot be hands-off when it comes to dealing with WAEC. And then one last thing, on the WAEC issue, I know that you can stop cheating in schools. And it's easy. How? Do you know that examination leakages stopped when I was the minister for BEC?
But I didn't stop for WASI.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay, tell me.
You see, what did we do in BEC that we didn't do with WASI? What we did with BEC was that it was a Ghanaian exam. So I directed that we are going to have separate questions for different regions of Ghana. That was the first. So when questions leak, and you think you have the question in your Volta region, it may be Ashanti region questions. So it's not useless. So the moment we did that year, all the websites where they were selling questions shut down because it was useless. Then the following year, we're able to do it up to the level where different examination centers have different arrangement of questions. It's called serialization. What that meant was that if you were at Kokrobite, DA School Examination Center, what was happening was that your question 1 is the question 20 of Ododio or of Laboni. So what is it? What was happening was that at that point, examination leakages on BEC was over. Then we came to WASI. WASI is administered by as a consortium of all the countries. So I had a meeting with West African education ministers, and we all came to that conclusion that we have to serialize. Now, The WAEC was willing to do serialization, but they told us that it's going to cost them a lot of money. And in fact, WAEC was even going to do something, we're going to do something that would have prevented cheating within the examination room. How was it going to work? What was going to happen is that within the exams room, different students will have different questions.
Okay.
Printed that way. So they asked us to buy for them printing equipment that will enable them to print different questions for different students. When that happens, you sit next to somebody. What are you going to do? When that happens, you leak. It's 1 out of 30 questions that you are leaking. You can't leak out the 30. If you're a teacher, it's going to tell you that I can't help my student during the exams because I don't know what Kodjo's questions are. I don't know Abna's questions. And therefore, there's no way cheating can. Other countries have done it.
Okay.
So what did I do? I made an appeal. I wrote to the Ministry of Finance to provide the money. Unfortunately, they couldn't provide it at that time. If this government feels so inclined and follow this plan that we left behind, this blueprint of serialization that we left behind, in one soup, there will be no leakages, there will be no cheating because you don't know my question 1 is your question 20.
Okay.
And we're within the same examination room. So when somebody thinks that we will promote cheating, to me, education is at the core. A global education leader who knows education inside and out will be interested. No, I want an education system that will forever transform the fortunes of Ghana. And to do that, teachers cannot afford not to teach. If they know there will be no leakage, students cannot afford not to learn. When they know that there will be no help in the examination room. And that is when your examination regime then provides an opportunity for you to create quality education.
Okay.
That then stands the test of time.
Okay.
So I am for a quality education system. And so when you talk about the gaps in education, one gap that we're going to have to fail as a nation is what we didn't get to begin. We didn't get to implement. It's called gifted and talented education.
Okay, what does it mean?
6 to 10% of any population in the world are born gifted. That means high IQ children. And then the talented are the ones who are so good at something. Can be music. You don't have to train them before you know they are playing guitar. They are talented. They are born with it. It's a gift from God to any nation. 10%, 6 to 10%. Americans look for those children. From grade 3, they start looking for them.
Okay.
When they find them, there's an exam that you do. If you give it to the child and they are gifted, you find out. Once the child is identified gifted, then they go to separate schools. And if the city cannot do a separate school for them, they will set aside special classroom in existing schools for those children to be nurtured.
Okay.
W.B. Du Bois called the talented 10th. If you don't get those children to educate them, the talent God has given to them that is not inure to the benefit of our nation.
Wow.
We had all the policy work done. We have some schools that were going to be converted. I hope, God willing, when I am in charge of this country, it is something that I believe we need to do. Gifted children go through difficulties in our classrooms because most of them cannot just shut up for a teacher to teach.
Sure.
In their minds, they know something. And they are saying, Teacher Kodjo, can you allow me to explain to you a better way of solving this problem? And if they are not careful, Teacher Kodjo will shut him down. When I'm talking, you don't talk. But the gifted child is sitting there and saying to himself, I have something to offer. I have a new way of solving this problem. Can you allow me? And people are saying, you can be allowed. So at the end, this gift that God has given to our nation is lost.
Okay. On the back of innovation, what's your agenda for health, for agriculture, for tourism?
Good. I'll take tourism first.
Okay.
I'm of the opinion that the amount of money we get from tourists in Ghana is limited compared to what they will get from tourists in other countries.
True.
Like Jamaica. And one thing that I've seen from examples, from practice of traveling around the world is poor customer service. When we have trained our workers well to be confident, to go to a customer and say, are you enjoying your stay in Ghana? Is this the first time you're coming to Ghana? Have you tasted Ghanaian chocolate? You are selling chocolate.
Why?
Are you going to come back soon to Ghana? If you come back, I'm here. Look for me. Which country are you coming from? If you go to Portugal, go to other places, and the staff comes to you, the kind of service they will offer, the kind of communication. You can go and sit, I'll mention some hotels, go and sit at some hotel lobby. Nobody will come to you and say, can I give you water? I'm selling you water. I'm making more money for the hotel and for the government based on that. Who is asking questions that allow tourists to spend more? And ask the tourists, have you visited this place? The Kwame Nkrumah, oh, you better go. If you come to Ghana and you don't visit there, you haven't come to Ghana. That is why our first president is buried, and the place is so beautiful. You have to.
Okay.
Before you know, the tourist is spending more money. So
because
what
I
think...
A number of these people in the hospitality industry don't even know. They have not been trained.
That is why I will ask that my government will train these workers for free at no cost to the hotels. Because in the end, when the people spend more money, part is coming to the government.
Sure.
So when you get the staff to be self-confident, and by the way, salary of the workers. Let me tell you, if hotel workers are not making a lot of money in Ghana, it's lack of vision and policy. Why? Now you travel to the US, travel to UK. Tip is no longer voluntary.
It's mandatory.
It's mandatory. Can you imagine the workers that work in top hotels if the 10% mandatory tax was on, a tip was on? Yeah. They will all be able to buy cars. They will have livable wages. In most hotels around the world, restaurants around the world, they make more money from tips than salary. So my sister, there has to be, for that hotel worker to be self-confident, right? To engage in conversation, he should come in his car so I can have a conversation about car. Because some of these tourists, they like discussing cars. So you can say, oh, what car? What's your car? So I like this, I like, then you have a point of conversation. So tourism is an area where, one, we also have to look at the taxes on airline tickets.
Right.
A number of times we are not getting a boost because the ticket is so expensive. So the backpack tourists that can come in the millions are not coming because it's so expensive to come to Ghana. And a major part of it is the taxes that we have added to the ticket. Now, somebody will say, that means government is going to lose revenue. No, you're going to get it back from the expenditure in the hotels and restaurants where the tourists will go and eat.
Okay.
There's a place called Las Vegas in the US, and it's close to California. And there was, they used to do this where they would bring buses, free buses, to take people from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. The casinos pay for the bus because they know when you get there, you're going to spend money. So we need to find, and that is why, moving on from there, I think we need a national carrier.
Okay.
We need our airline.
That's long overdue.
My sister, the idea that the government cannot...
Was it something that for you at cabinet, when you were in government, did you suggest, did you push for this?
No, my sister, when you are in education, invariably your work is so overwhelmed.
That you don't think about that. Okay.
There are certain things you think about, but it's not your ministry. So you give certain... so if there's a discussion, of course you step in. But moving to say... I'm from education.
I'm not saying you, I mean members of cabinet. Is that something you pushed for?
I would say that in tourism, year of return was done. It was a good starting point. My brother, wow, they did very well boosting tourism. But the next point, based on what I saw, what I've seen, is to how do you get the tourists to spend more from those who are coming? And how do you get more to come? By removing some of this, reducing some of these taxes. So these are ideas that I have that will enhance wherever we did or this government does, when, God willing, I'm in charge. So I believe that tourism is an area we can make a lot of money.
Okay.
And then another area will be helping small hotels to operate under a franchise.
Okay.
Because some people have built hotels, they spend all their money. They don't have money to even market the hotels. And they are nice. They don't have money to do the decor and other things that will enable people to go. And if you begin to use government grants to support innovators who want to develop franchise, free money to people who want to do franchise, and bring these hotels under the umbrella, New Horizon Hotels, Harmony Hotels, Kumasi, Tamale, everywhere. And then government is supporting the franchise development. What it means is that the owner at Tamale now have opportunity to market, because when you do one advertisement, it covers everybody. So tourism, and then tourism as a course in high school.
Okay.
They're doing it in Portugal. I asked a young lady who was serving us at a restaurant at a Portugal restaurant. He said, we do what they call tourism as a course in high school. So he said, I did tourism. And when you are doing tourism, it's a requirement that you study foreign language. Okay. So she speaks impeccable English, and she understands how to serve people, customer service, everything. So if we're going to get the critical manpower for tourism, you see, it's not doing at the university. Most university people are not being prepared to come and serve the restaurant. But if you do it in high school, you have people who are trained to do the job and do it well. So that's tourism.
Let's talk about agriculture. What's your policy for agriculture?
Yeah, you see, in agric, one of the things that we have to take a serious look at is that it has to go beyond peasant agriculture. It has to go beyond agriculture that enables individuals to cultivate, eat some of it, and sell some of it. It's good. No doubt about it. It also creates jobs for the people. But we have to begin to take a serious look at commercial agriculture and support commercial agriculture. If we know, for example, that we have companies that want to do agro-processing, which a number of companies want to do, what do we do with fruit cultivation? What do we do with orange, commercial orange cultivation? What we can do is that individuals may do the job, yes, but I don't understand why we cannot do state farms. Farms jointly owned by government and private individuals that cultivate the fruit that is needed in the agro-processing factories. So bottom line is this: commercial agriculture should be promoted. But not just that. There are some areas where government should do off-taker agreement. If it's cashew, there should be a cashew marketing board, so that farmers are not going to have this instability that they are having now. Because when there's instability, what it means is that people can't plan ahead. Because this year, the harvest was good. Last year, it was bad. Maize cultivation. If you have off-taker agreement and government is buying what will come out, and we have grain marketing board that is selling the extra to other countries, then when I'm going to cultivate maize, I know that at least there's a price that I'm going to get. So we have to look at what we did with cocoa. With that cocoa board or cocoa marketing board at the beginning, the cocoa industry wouldn't have grown. My father was a cocoa farmer. At that time, his peers growing up didn't go to school, but they felt that cocoa was their opportunity. Ashanti farmers who went to Asante Achem, from there, some went to Ahafo, Tepa. All those were, there are a number of towns that were cocoa growing villages that have now become towns. From Ahafo, they move on to Central Region, Chichireyere, Techikrom, a number of Ayamfore, all in the Central Region. Then others move from there to Western Region. If you look at a place like Wasa, Ekropon, all these places, they move on to Enchi, Asankregwa. All these places became cocoa farm lands. And these individuals became middle class, upper middle class. There's a man called Penianto from Kumewu in Ashanti region. He owned a fleet of vehicles, a cocoa farmer. At the back of every vehicle, he wrote, "Oh, yes." And I always say this may be the only two words he knew in the English language, but "oh, yes" was big man, upper middle class man with a lot of money. Because the government guaranteed, people entered it, and they did it. They moved from cassava cultivation, plantain cultivation into cocoa, because the government have said that everything you produce, I'll buy. Okay. So cocoa then changes the future of our nation. So
you still think cocoa will change the future of our nation?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying the example that we made with cocoa, what we did with cocoa can be replicated.
Where?
In other fields.
Like?
Whether maize, for example.
Okay.
Ensuring that everything you produce will be purchased. And consequently, you produce more. Commercial farming is key. We have the land.
Commercial farmlands are dying due to galamsey.
That's another story we have to talk about my vision for ending galamsey.
Okay.
See, at the end of the day, when you do commercial farmlands, and maybe not commercial farmlands, but it's more the individual farms that are going to galamsey. But at the end of the day, commercial is when you have economies of scale. It's where you have employment for the youth. The rural youth will get employment if you have state farms that are commercial farms and commercial enterprises. But I think we need to look at the example. I believe we have to look at the example of cocoa and begin to look at marketing boards that are set up for for other crops that people can cultivate and understand that when we cultivate, somebody will buy. And as a result, we're going to go all out and increase production and can be a livelihood for us. And also, we have to know that if you have a group of talented young men and women and they are not going to agric, you have a problem. Okay. Why do you have a problem? You have students who have studied agricultural science at the university. How are we facilitating their integration into real agriculture, not to the staff of Ministry of Agric? You cannot facilitate that if you don't develop rural communities with farmlands and schools and hospitals. So if you don't have towns and villages, farm towns, where there are quality schools and there are hospitals, you are not going to really attract the young together. Okay. He lives in Accra. Quality education for the child. You want him to go to Afram Plains. Where's Afram Plains town where there's quality school, like the one that he will get in Accra? Where's Afram Plains town where there's a hospital where he can take care of the children? And then my proposal, my idea is this. When government acquire a lot of lands in Afram Plains and other places for agriculture, universities that are doing degrees in agriculture can have their outreach, practice-oriented campuses there. Just like teachers do, that 1 year you leave school and you go and do the practicum. Those pursuing agricultural science can also go and stay at these outreach campuses in the farm belts and do their 1 year. And then after that, national service, they do it there. And how do they do it there? The farmlands will be there, tractors will be there. We have tractor drivers that can do the work for them. And then there can be a partnership. After you cultivate, half of the money comes to you, half goes to the university to reimburse them for the cost. Then the students who have had that taste of practical agriculture, 1 year of national service, it's more than likely when they see the revenue coming and they see that will make them middle class, they are more than likely to stay there and pursue agriculture as a career. Okay,
let's talk about politics. January 31 is just 11 days away.
Yes.
How many constituencies, regions have you crisscrossed so far?
We have about 70 that we haven't. It's a tall order, but we are sending
out of the
270 plus.
Out of the 276,
you
are left with 70. So you've done over 200 constituencies.
You see, what we have done is that we have people who are working.
Okay.
Yeah, we've trained our coordinators.
Okay. To go speak to the delegates.
Go speak to the delegates. Where I can't make it, people will go. And people also hearing you. We have some delegates who are hearing. We have some stakeholders who are hearing. So we are using all strategies and approaches to make sure that we can reach as many people as possible. There are places where we meet with the leaders, we go through my vision with them, we resource them to also share. There are places where, like Ho Central, where I just came from, where you stand in front of 1,000, there were 1,500, and share your vision with them so that they can hear firsthand from you what you intend to do when you are the flag bearer.
Are you just testing waters, like many are saying, that eventually you are going to throw your weight behind a particular candidate?
Nobody is going to get my support. I'm not throwing my weight behind anybody. I am in to win. And I'll tell you, I had the same thing when I came to Bosomtwe to contest for Member of Parliament. I had just arrived from the US, and they were saying he's testing the water. I said, no, I have no waters to test. I'm in to win. At the end, I contest. I have fierce opponents. At the end, I got 72% of the votes. So I don't test waters. I go in with my all to win. I share my story. And as a former education minister, I'm very well known by about 4 million students who have passed through senior high schools, whose schools, a number of them that I visited. I've not into test. I have people there who know Dr. Aduchum. When I went to GHOne and Eat Gobe with the students, these are students who know me.
Okay.
So if you're talking about somebody who in the general election will have a lot of people who know him firsthand, if you go to a Fiakobi and sit there with the girls, eat with them, and teach classes, teachers know me. And they understand me.
But these
so it's not
students
about
are not
testing.
delegates.
Of course, they are not delegates, but I'm saying that delegates are looking for a winner in the general election.
Okay.
They are electing by proxy. Delegates are not just looking at somebody who they love to death and can be a flag bearer. Delegates are looking for somebody who, when we select, the general population will accept for us because we are looking for power.
Okay.
So this is not about...
So you're looking for power. You're looking for a winnable candidate, not just a flag bearer. But polls have not favored you. Many of the polls suggest that you're trailing behind your key rivals.
The most important poll is the poll on the election day. Let me tell you. Delegate poll, anybody who can put their neck on the line that they can predict delegates is making a huge mistake. Okay. There's a reason why you go to a place and say 30% say they are undisclosed. If you think you can figure them out, let's wait till January 31st.
But
I'm not
think
worried.
That the less than 2% that you're getting in the various polls will change on election day on January 31?
I'm telling you, somebody is doing his post. I don't know his methodology. I'm not there to contest it.
You don't trust the methodology?
You say, I don't know, and I don't debate anybody's. I have my internal post that I do. I trust mine.
Okay.
And 31st,
what have your polls been telling you?
My post tells me I'll win.
By what margin?
I'm not going to disclose that here. I don't want to raise people's... you do that and people come after you. I'm not going to do that.
But is it that you don't trust even the polls you have conducted, your internal polls? Because if
I'm not going to share that. I'm not going to share that with you.
Oh,
and
I'm
not sharing. You are talking. You're talking.
Not just me. I'm representing your delegates.
After I finish the interview, I'll share with you.
Okay, you share with me off air.
Yeah, off air. Because why should I come and share what I know with you? No. So that somebody...
So that's your strategy?
Of course. Okay. So what I know, how can I share it? So that somebody will go to that constituency and say he's good here. Okay. Nobody will do that. Okay. Nobody. So bottom line is this. The most important poll that matters to Dr. Ayao is January 31st.
Okay. In our course of the conversation we've had so far, you keep talking about providence in faith. It suggests to me that you're a staunch Christian. You believe in prophecies?
I believe in providence. I don't have a way of assessing whether the prophecy is true or not, so I leave prophets to say their prophecies. But what I believe in is that all my life, God has opened the way for me.
And do you believe that before God opens ways, sometimes he speaks through his servants?
I'm not here to debate who is a prophet and who is not. I don't want that to be my discussion.
No, I'm only asking who is... I'm not asking who is a prophet or who is not.
I won't get into that.
A number of the prophecies have also not declared you winner.
But a number of prophets are also saying this person and that person, the same God.
But your name has not appeared in any of the prophecies.
Because my prophets don't come to talk publicly.
Okay.
But what I know is this. I believe in prophecies, but I don't think it's for public consumption. If you believe in me and you think I'm capable, you talk to me. What God has revealed to you, I believe in that. So what I'm saying is that the prophecy that matters is January 31st. What will happen that day? That's the prophecy that matters. So I'm not going to rely on what people are saying to be concerned, to be happy. No. What I know is this. All my life, if had it not been for the providence of God, I couldn't have opened schools in America for Americans. I have 200 workers. Okay. Nothing more miraculous than an immigrant from Ghana going to America, getting government funding to build schools for Americans. 200 workers, a son of a cocoa farmer who grew up poor, who almost didn't go to high school, is now in America. Nothing is more miraculous. So I believe in that miracle making God. Okay. I believe that there's providence. I believe that God has a plan for everyone. And his plan for me will be manifested.
In his plan for you manifesting, what should the delegates truly consider on January 31?
Delegates should consider somebody with a broad national recognition and traction. Delegates should know that at the end of the day, they want somebody that the youth of this country can recognize and say, we know him. We know what he did for STEM. We know what he did for us, and we believe that he's capable. Delegates should look at somebody with a vision to support them at the grassroots. Some of these people have worked so hard. They volunteered all their lives. But they have nothing to point to say that out of my hard work for the New Patriotic Party, this is what I have. That is why we'll do patriotic health insurance for those who are aged. Those who the national health insurance cannot take care of in certain aspects, the party's own resources will be used in creating a specialized insurance for them, the old ones, so that at that time, after serving the party for so long, there's something that they can do. Dr. GHOne also says that we'll have a welfare officer designated for every constituency office. If there's something that you need support on, you go through that person. Otherwise, you can also use your phone to enter your request on a portal. And as a president, with support from the party hierarchy will respond to those needs and will find the resource to support those individuals based on the request that they are making. And by the way, if you submit your request through the office, they should give you a receipt that shows that you have submitted a certain request. And then the president will work with the party hierarchy to make sure the needs of these individuals will be met. Also, one critical thing, monthly meetings at all polling stations so that party members can participate in the party. And also annual party conferences that are done. Government's interest in them and making sure they bring up suggestions. I want the party members to know that it's not just when we are looking for power that we come to you. When we are in government, we want to hear your voices. We want you to tell us what is going on right, what is not right. Because you live with the other non-party people who are maybe telling you some things. If you do that and you hear from the party and they are telling you their concerns, their issues, at the time that you have to go for re-election, you're not going to have a disenchanted party and disenchanted voters because you have heard their issues through different channels, but no channel is comparable to that of the party channel. Because the person who is a member of your party, they want you to stay in power. So if something is going on and it's not good, they are more likely to tell you than anybody. So I want the party delegates to understand that you'll be part and parcel of government. You will be heard. And when you are heard, we'll be able to do what you expect us to do and will not wait till 4 years to come to you to seek your authorization to stay in power.
This campaign for a flag bearer has been marred by too many accusations. It's been quite an insidious campaign. If you emerge flag bearer eventually, how confident are you that you'll be able to unify the various factions and be able to calm tempers?
If I am the candidate, it's easy because I did not engage myself on anything that insulted anybody or my followers insulted anybody. So delegates that are watching, stakeholders who are hearing me, Dr. GHOne has what I say the magic wand for unity because no followers of the other four will feel insulted by me, will feel indignant about supporting me. So if you look at somebody that people will come around and can unify, it's me. Because you see, I've not said anything against, I don't have the time to come and sit on your show. I have small time. I know time is almost gone. And I'm going to spend it talking about somebody. When I go before the delegates, even if I have an hour, telling my story, where I came from, where I've gone to, and where I got to before coming back, and why I came back, and what I want to do for the country. It takes a long time to finish that. So I don't have time to talk about any other person. I want to talk about me, for the delegates to hear me. So I'm the unifier. because I have not engaged in anything that will make any delegate feel that my leader was insulted, and therefore I won't follow you.
Okay. Your party says flag bearer hopefuls should come and sign a peace pact on Thursday. Are you signing it?
Of course. Peace is good.
Okay.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Okay. Doesn't it send a wrong message that the party is indeed in tatters? Because why are you signing a peace pact anyway? It's one party. It's not as though it's an NDC, CPP. It's one party. Why are you signing? Why is the party deciding to sign a peace pact? What is it?
I'll tell you one thing. I don't think this may be the first time, but I'll tell you one thing. You trust in politics. You trust but verify. You know, when the person signs, he sends a signal to his followers. It's not just him. All the 4 people are peace-loving. 5 people, we're all peace-loving individuals. I think left to us alone, probably the party doesn't have to sign anything. But when I sign, my followers is signaling to my followers that he stands for peace. He stands for peace. If all our followers know that we all stand for peace, then it's better for the party as a whole, because in their communities, they are going to work together. So when there is any acrimonies there, Kodjo is going to remind Abena, but our leaders have even signed a peace pact. Why are we quarreling about this? So I believe that it's a symbol, a signaling to the party members to say that let's stay together, let's stay in peace. Because you know the 5 will not be fighting physically or even using verbal assaults. But the followers should be told that the leaders are interested in peace. Therefore, let everything be peaceful.
Do you have a problem with Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh?
Of course not. I don't have a problem with anybody.
There were talks that the two of you had issues.
No, I don't have any
And
problem.
we asked him, he was here in your seat, and we asked him. He said he didn't have a problem with you.
No,
that
I
we
don't.
should ask it. So I want to ask you, do you
I don't have a problem with him. The same way he said it. No problem whatsoever.
Now, let's talk briefly before you go. There was this controversy about introduction of LGBTQI into a manual, and some of your opponents in the NDC say this was introduced under you.
I mean, this is where I don't understand. 2025 manuals were written in 2025. Year 2 was written in 2025.
But they said it was prepared in 2024.
No, not year 2.
Okay.
The one that had the curriculum was year 2. Year 2 was done in 2025. If you go and look at the manual, it's on there, 2025. So me, I don't understand them. If it happened under us and you took over, why didn't you get rid of it? We did it. You came and you discovered it. Why didn't you throw away? Why did you distribute it? So, politicians, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. What do the delegates risk by not voting for you?
I wouldn't say they risk, but I would say they may have lost a great opportunity to get a visionary leader for our nation. And that is why they are not going to risk it. That is why they are not going to lose it. Because knowing the fact that this is who I am, they will vote for me.
Opposition politics is quite loud. Are you ready for that version of leadership?
Of course, whatever it takes for us to win, but we're going to prosecute this campaign with respect. I don't foresee myself communicating in a way to insult anybody. You see, when you have a vision that is so profound, that can truly transform your nation, and you can sell it to your nation, when your vision is to create an export-driven economy which is undergirded by STEM education, and you know how to do it. If your vision is like that of Deng Xiaoping of China, who went to Japan and saw Japanese transformation and went back to China and said, no way, China must be transformed, and he began building a nation where he created so many engineers, used that to bring in foreign direct investment, even in communities, changed the nation's politics to accept investment from abroad and China. Late 1970s, that's the time of Rawlings' first appearance. Late 1970s, when Chinese revolution for transformation began. Now look at China. They've engineered themselves out of poverty. National Development Planning Commission in Ghana at 100. We should, by 2057, be a developed nation. But you know, we have just 31 years left, and our GDP, they say that per capita income, by that time, Ghana at 100 should be $50,000 right now, after 69 years. We are at 3,000. There's a sense of urgency. And I want Ghanaians to know that there's a sense of urgency. When poverty is engulfing some parts of our society, when life is so challenging, when workers' pay cannot suffice for food and for transport, there should be no room for politicians to hide anywhere but to confront the issue of underdevelopment. Okay. And here the party that has a plan, the leader has the vision for transformation, like the Deng Xiaopings of the world, and like the Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore. You see, every nation must have its Lee Kuan Yew. It must have its Park of South Korea. It must have a Deng Xiaoping.
We had a Kwame Nkrumah. Or you're one of those who does not believe in Kwame Nkrumah.
But we are here. Okay. 3,000 per capita. He did his part. Buzia did his part. All governments that we've gotten, they all did their part, even including the military government. They all wanted to create a nation where there will be prosperity. Kwame Nkrumah laid a strong foundation. Even the military regimes, a champion, a free, they all did their part. Okay. President Kufuor did his part. President Mohammed I, President Mills, President Kufuor, Akufo-Addo. They all wanted to see a transformed country. Every one of them did their best for this nation. But when you look at the National Development Planning Commission's plan and look at where we ought to be, and we are 3,000, there has to be a greater sense of urgency, and Ghanaians in 2028 should hold both parties to account and access to provide a vision of total transformation, because we are not going to reach the 50,000 with all this political talk. Okay. We need to have a bold agenda like that of Lee Kuan Yew, who was Win Simios, a Dutch economist, was his advisor, moving from import substitution companies to export-driven companies. Now look at Singapore. Okay. So, my sister, we are not, Ghanaians should hold us to account. We should not hide behind the political banter and propaganda and go free when majority of our people are struggling. 2028 will be a fascinating election if Dr. Duchim is the flag bearer and we're debating where we can take our nation to.
If you don't win, what happens? Are you going to throw your weight behind anybody that wins?
What?
If you don't win.
I mean, that's the rule. All the four, if they don't win, they will support me. If anybody wins, that's the rule. But I know I'm going to win.
Will you accept to be running mate if you don't win the ultimate?
That is not a discussion for this platform.
No, I'm asking. I mean, in any contest, there's a winner.
I don't determine that.
But
so I can't speculate.
If anybody makes you,
I won't speculate on that. I'm going to win. So I should be thinking about who I appoint as running mate. Okay. I should not be thinking about that, no.
But if you win, will you appoint any of the other four as running mates?
I will consider.
You will consider that?
Yes.
Okay. Who will it be? Will it be Dr. Bawumia?
I can't tell you.
Okay. But you supported Dr. Bawumia.
You're a very nice host. You've done your job very well, but there are certain things I will never tell you.
Okay. Well, you're a politician. I don't expect you to tell me everything. Will you go for a woman as running mate?
Everything's on the table.
Oh, so it means you're considering that?
Of course.
You're considering. Will you consider me?
I can't discuss it here.
Will you consider Natoshi?
I won't consider. I won't discuss.
Oh, you just said
no. I said I won't discuss it here.
That's fine. That's my answer. Thank you very much.
No, I didn't say that.
But that's your camera. No. Look into it. Tell your delegates why Dr. Yaosei Aduchum is the choice.
Delegates who are hearing me today, I'll tell you one thing. I'm number 4 on the ballot. Dr. Yaosei Aduchum, by the grace of God, has really done some great things in my life, for the world, and for our nation, Ghana. In the United States, where I lived for many years, I was able to build schools that produce outcomes that has been unmatched. And that is why the government of the United States, through the Congress, recognized me for my work 6 months ago. When I came to Ghana, I was able to work for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and for the people of Bosomtwe. At Bosomtwe, I've been able to educate 93 engineers and counting. Within a short period of time, I'm going to find 130 engineers coming from one constituency. I've built a high school for government called Say GHOne High School. You go there, senior high school, you go there and have students from across the country. I believe in legacy. When you vote for me, you have a candidate for president who is going to articulate your views, your opinions to the people of Ghana, who is going to champion a cause for the transformation of our country, and who will assure that we come back to power. I know you are not interested in just electing a flag bearer. You are interested in a flag bearer who become a candidate and who will win you the presidency. That is Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum. On January 31st, vote for Yaw Osei Adutwum, number 4.
Okay, so dear NPP delegates, this is Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum. He has told you his vision. He has told you why you need to vote for him. If he is your preferred choice, he is number 4. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you
for coming to our studios. We really appreciate it. And we wish you all the best. We will be there on ground to bring viewers all the coverage that you need, everything that you need to know about all the delegates, and even Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum will bring it to you on January 31. But before I go, quite unfortunate news we're gathering is that some parts of the Kwame Nkrumah Circle is on fire, just around the VIP area. That's what is on your screen.
Oh, no.
Yes. So there's a fire outbreak around the Circle area.
Oh,
we're
no.
yet to determine what is the real area, but it's just around the VIP area. I know it's close to a number of stalls. I'm sure people are counting their losses by now. Quite unfortunate there. They have a fire station. I hope and pray that they will be able to maneuver and go in there to douse the inferno. It's quite thick. Unfortunate one this morning. So if you are going to use that area, also be careful. Because there will be a lot of congestion there, but we hope and pray that the fire service will be able to douse this inferno as soon as possible. That's quite a huge one.
Yeah, I've not seen fire service.
Very, very unfortunate. I'm wondering how the fire service has not been able to get to that.
There.
Yeah, but that is the situation we have in the country. Meandering their way into the scenes, fire scenes, is always a challenge. Fire hydrants are hidden. And very often they don't even have enough resources. Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum, that's one of the things that you'll have to deal with. It's one of the things you'll be confronted with if you're president of this country. Anyway, so we'll bring you more detail on this unfortunate incident during 11:30 on our Branch Time News. My name is Lily Mohammed. Have a great day. Bye for now.